the very least, getting that early kill.
100%. Right now, I feel like it's just about trying to pull some rotations to the B site. You've got that top con smoke to try to fake it out, but with the bomb now making it play out of Palace, I don't know if they've done the due diligence just yet. Still goes 1 for 1. The advantage in the favor of 9Z. The bomb's going to go down, but still already have players here on the assistance from Stairs. Axile thought he was going to get flashed into CT, but no, just takes the raw aim duel and wins it out outright. So we go to even footing, and it's all about playing for this time right now, wasting the utility, baiting it all out. That wasn't a flash. He almost got baited by it, but everybody right now a bit spread apart for the likes of 9T, moving in piece by piece and also picked apart in the exact same regard. Axile already with 2 as he looks for more. They're both split apart, but they still want to take the fights. And QZ, he finds the frag, but it just might be a little too late.
It's a rough one. Smoke is up, though. On top of the bomb. Oh, Shiro, what a headshot. But even with the kit, it doesn't really matter. Against 2 pistols like that, you're never going to get that full defuse. That is a nice round, especially out of Axile. He pretty much carved the space in that round for them to pick it up. So, job well done, Cloud9. They're going to win the pistol round. But honestly, I mean, that was competitive. What a shot from Max to begin with. They could have won this round, 9C. I'm not going to lie. But it was too much. Axile, a little bit too wild with that Glock.
I feel like it was a bit misspacing too on that retake. I mean, you saw like 1 by 1 they were peeking in CT. It just felt a little bit disjointed, maybe a bit chaotic. I don't even know if they were expecting it to get that far.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. And yeah, you're right. I mean, that's also why I think Axile's movement into CT spawn is so cool, right? Because I'm not sure if 9C weren't necessarily ready to take that fight. It looked like they were probably just wanted to use that as like a staging area to get into the A bomb side, and suddenly gets taken away from them. So not at all bad. All USPs on the other side. Not even a single flashbang. That's disappointing, but, you know, we'll see.
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Classic.
Full eco, I mean, you can't really blame it. Just trying to get the guns out as soon as possible, especially against a team as volatile as C9.
They're just so high. I mean, no matter what, playing a team that's, you know, that's this far near the top 3 in the world, it's always going to get rough. But they have such a weird style that I just feel like for 9C, I mean, they obviously know about it. They've obviously looked at demos and everything else, but it is so hard to stop. It just is. So might be they need someone, I feel like, to be like a real playmaker here, someone that could take the fight to them the way that Max did in the pistol round to begin with. But they need a lot of rounds like that where they have someone who could start it out like 4 on 5, just get that early kill, and I don't think it's going to be easy.
We've just got to hope that that pistol didn't set a precedent, because I'm with you. You are going to need somebody to start to set yourselves apart. But we kind of saw that on the pistol where they had that nice opener in middle, but it just didn't really matter.
It's, I don't know. AWP on NQC, that could be a way to do it. Gonna get smoked off though right away. The life of anyone trying to AWP on CT side Mirage, isn't it? Just always, there's gonna be, you know, utility everywhere in your face.
I feel like they've got a good setup to counter this though. 1 con, 1 cat, trying to pick off stragglers as they make their way up, but very disciplined. C9 just wait it out, see if anybody's peeking away in middle, try to win these 1v1s, and Max backs away before he could take the first interaction. A bit skittish, it seems.
Yeah, but he's getting some information at the very least. Axile starts to fall back. The rest of the team looking to join him. They got the bomb up there in the B hallways, and not that much info in the middle for 9C at the moment. They got 2 people back at the B bomb side, but they don't really know what's happening yet, and you could tell there's still a little bit of noise being made by Hobbit in there. So he's trying to sell the idea that there's more happening in the middle than there really is. Max is trying to figure out what's happening, but they might be a little bit late. If they can't defend this B bomb site with the 2 people that are there, no one's going to get there in time to defend, I think.
They still got utility to try to hold it down too, but a really well-placed flashbang, I thought at least. No, they're going to get shut down. Walking into this crossfire somehow. Nappany's able to walk away with that trade, but we've still not gotten into the site just yet. Molly keeps us even, but the bomb's still yet to go down. You've got 30 seconds and a couple of open avenues in towards market here, and QX still able to work with this AWP, not yet to find a kill or solidify himself in the round. So it is still a big question mark as to whether or not it's in play or not, but with that kill coming through on middle, I imagine it's just going to be a save call.
Yeah, surely they don't want to give away the AWP. That's a huge risk. Axile, a little bit quick with the little bit of a peek there. Hobbit was waiting the whole round. Him and Max were having this standoff for the longest time in the middle, even before any bomb was planted, and Hobbit was endlessly patient. So Max is going to be super annoyed. I think he had the right read. I actually think he understood that he was probably getting checked in that moment. So, but eventually he has to, once the bomb is down, he has to do something, and Hobbit's just a little bit too quick on the trigger. So good hit from Cloud9. That's not at all a bad round. Did lose a couple of players and could have definitely lost more in that one. So it started out a bit scary, but fair play to them. It worked out. They win the first 3 rounds. And 9C, yeah, I think saving at the end here was the right call.
I still feel like that's a bit of an issue, though, right? I mean, they come cracking out onto the B side. It's about even footing. You've got 2 players on the initial hold with tons of utility to shut them out, too, but they just kind of get shut down, it feels. Like, somehow that MAC-10's able to go all the way up to default before it's really spotted. The crossfire fails. And obviously, it's still early on, but I don't feel like you can let these errors slip for that long, especially against a team that we already talked about is such high standings just in global-level Counter-Strike.
No, you're right. I think there's no doubt. You need to win all of the, let's say, the rounds that feel somewhat even, and all of the rounds where you're super favored. So every time you have a 4-on-5, you pretty much got to win it. And even in this kind of round, like the initial defense over at B was pretty decent. So, because there are going to be way more rounds we have to expect coming down the road, where Cloud9 are going to start out with a pretty huge, favor, and they're going to get a couple of early entry kills, and those are the rounds that are obviously very, very hard to win. So, whenever you get a shot at something that feels a little bit even, it's going to be so important to try and convert those into wins. Alone on the A-bomb side is Davy G at the moment. So, or is it just David, I guess? For a minute, I thought that was... that's from... that's all the way over from the Spanish Counter-Strike. That threw me off for a second. But yeah, just on his own. He's getting a little bit of backup. That's not bad. Actually, the AWP being wheeled in. Oh, they weren't ready for it. They thought that was an M4, and now instead, NQC coming up with 2 huge kills. Not at all bad, and Shiro's frozen in place right now. Bomb is dropped for the minute. What a shocking turn of events. 3 versus 4, and about 30 seconds left. Shiro looking to find anyone that he can, but he might just have to almost back out. Smoke is up to help him, and he's got the bomb recovered, but I don't even know where they go right now.
Napanee's just found a bit of an open avenue for them over towards the beat plane with 20 seconds to go. He seems to be a hero who doesn't wear a cape for C9, especially with this round turning the way that it did, finally spotting somebody on this market cross, but he's already cleared off the majority of the site. Shiro, that's a big kill to be found too. Still, Flash comes out. They want to deny this play before it can go down. With 5 seconds to go, 90 may have just cracked the code. You can get any kills you want. There's just no way you're winning this round. And somehow 9Z have pulled it back from the depths of destruction. It looked like for a second there that round was going to be shut down with an advantage coming up Con with the site almost in their midst. But again, just a beautiful play from this op saves 9Z.
That is super crazy, and they even got the read to rotate towards the B-bomb side in time, as you said, to pick this up. You no chance once they get that that first kill in the bomb plant. That's well done. All right, 3-1. Like to see it, and they need not just that round, but the next one too, right here. After that, the money is going to start to run out for Cloud9, and then there's a chance to really build something. But there was already just the saved AWP making all the difference in the world, so I appreciate it. Rocks hanging around with the M4 over on this side, and it seems like it's going to be a replay of that hit towards the B-bomb side. They want to go for it again.
I don't know how quick this response is going to be. They don't really have somebody who's going to be right there to go with them, so unless he's able to buy enough time for them to get some reinforcement on this site, he's just going to have to fall off, maybe get one, get traded out, and they'll have to play for this retake depending on how quick the response is to this hit. But he's already backed up a little bit. Defensive position taken. EGT with an opening pick. And maybe this starts to unravel some of the curiosities of 9Z, who start to cheat a player up catwalk. You've got DGT while low. He'll still be here to try to spot out a cross, in which he finds another. And this B take seems to be in shambles, instantly shut down. And Cloud9 might have just given up that second round that we were worried about.
Yeah, oh, they're actually shutting it down so well. Shiro, doesn't really matter how many kills he gets right now in terms of winning the round. Rox will take him down to the end. It's a good triple, and that was so well done. The setup that they had in middle as well, up on the scaffolding, looking down into the underpass with a second player that was holding top mid, so they were super sure that they weren't going to get shot at the back doing that, and then they can turn that whole thing into a peak defense once they get the mid portion of it already corrected. So Cloud9 at the moment not really having I don't know, the shutdown effect that maybe a lot of people were worried about, because again, that feels like that's the setup going into a game like this, is that it could just be extremely one-sided. So it's cool to see 9C coming out and answering back and putting them back on pistols now. This is really awesome.
I also feel like that was a bit of a counter, too, because for the majority of this early start, Cloud9 have had some form of presence in middle, and I feel like that's dictated their success to some point, whether it's the pistol round where they try to take early control, that rifle round where they ended up going into B, they had somebody lurking in middle for the whole round. It feels like 9Z just really wanted to put an emphasis on shutting down what Cloud9 got done in mid.
Well, it's working, right? If you control the mid portion of the map, it makes a lot of sense. then, you know, you have that quick rotation to either A or B, and a lot of what they're doing is going to be way more easier to read. So, yeah, I mean, usually I feel like these days, most CT teams, I feel like try and stay away from the middle because it's just so hard to take that fight. It might be even harder against a team like Cloud9, but honestly, if they're successful in kind of saying or in doing what you're saying it, then more power to them. That would be impressive, all on its own. All back in hands, both of Shiro and QC. So maybe a chance to have a little bit of a fight there. That'd be fun to see. Shiro obviously very hard to challenge, no doubt.
They've already spotted nothing, but C9 on the response go out into A, which so far looks vacant. But this op's gonna peek into ramp. No, it's not him getting his head taken off first. It's David. The response soon going to be needed because of 4-on-5. We've seen how these go before. Bomb crosses back into T-spawn, so maybe they reconsider their alternative here. But no, with 4 players getting ready for an A take, no reason to back out now.
Yeah, seeing it. They're all rotated this way. This is so crazy. Going back to check for a minute, this NQC with the AWP is a little bit worried that there's going to be some sort of a late, you know, call from Cloud9 to turn it around. But we can tell they're not really doing that. They're just inching their way onto the A bomb site. Nothing too special here, but you could easily get caught on the defense right now. And already in a 4-on-5, if they catch even one player out of position here and make it a 5-on-3, it's probably done. Molotov nearly burning Max alive, but he's lucky, and I think Axel has the right idea. I don't know if he saw anything. Yeah, he sees the gun barrel. Oh, but Max is lightning fast. What a shot to bring down Axel. And maybe the retake is on. They could do this.
No wonder now, yeah, you've got full control of CT and towards the con side, so the only question is towards Palace and ramp, but Shiro's op still has a bit of an easy angle to hit a shot on, and the glass slipper could crack here shortly. You've got the rotation coming around through middle and alongside Inters. They've all been shut down one by one. They're picked apart methodically. Cloud9 on the post plant looked perfect.
Ooh, that was a moment there. I thought, especially Max in the middle, once he gets that kill, that really does open up a lot of the retake, because obviously if it goes the other way, there's no retake even happening, because then, you know, they lose control of connector, and the rest of them coming out of CT spawn just don't even have a shot. So a bit of a shame that they couldn't get a little bit quicker in there, maybe with the smoke up on the bomb, but yeah, no real shot. So 4-3 the scoreline. Moving into the 8th round. Nice jump out of the window to try and beat that smoke and get on over, just in case anyone was going to be a little bit quick with it. And over at the A ramp, Inter's going to get challenged right away, but he takes both of them down. David and Max, both of them hitting the ground. So that's another tough start here for the 9C side.
And I feel like already, if you're 9Z and you want to win a round like this, I feel like you've just kind of got to take the 50-50 gamble stack, or just play damage mitigation at this point. Maybe even see what they give you. I mean, the op is still in play from CT spawn, and QZ has the right idea with this con post, but seems like they're just going to wait out behind this smoke, wait for it to fade, go into the A site, and yeah, you can already see 9Z starting to give it up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it. I think that is the right call. Spreading out really thinly like they were initially, probably not the right move. So yeah, why not just stack everyone at either A or B, and then yeah, roll the dice. If they go to the bomb site, you get the save, and if they happen to show up where you are, then maybe you could win the 5-on-3. Yeah, and then that's what they're doing finally. I think this is a solid move. But I mean, they already proven once saving that AWP could net them around. So why not put some more stock into that? But a good round nonetheless, obviously, for a C9's point of view. They're going to be happy with it. 5-3 in their favor. And just, even the setup, I mean, I actually like it from 9C. I like the idea of going aggressive, trying to flash their way in to take that fight to Inters. I think that is the kind of stuff they need, all right? If they want to cause an upset here, they're probably not going to do it playing completely default Counter-Strike and just hoping to beat C9 straight up.
Yeah, I do kind of like that they've been somewhat mixing it up with the map control they take. Now they've experimented with the idea of getting aggressive over towards A. I just hope that one shutdown isn't going to completely sway them away from the idea, because you don't want to just give them the respect because maybe you missed a shot once, maybe the spacing was a little off. I feel like that could have gone really well for 9Z had just a little bit more luck gone their way.
Yeah, if they trade that kill on Inters right away and just make it a 1-for-1, then why not? Why not, you know, try and build something behind it? But that is a rough start. I don't know. There's not a lot to do to recover that one. So we'll see. They get to save some guns. They're all, they're all on the scoreboard, right? When you have this kind of a matchup, sometimes what happens is really the underdog team just has a hard time getting one or two of their players to have almost any kills. So, you know, it's good to see that no one is completely fallen off the radar at the moment. Timeout being called, tactical timeout from the 9C camp. So getting a chance to talk things over. why not?
I just wonder what the response is going to be, because it feels like Cloud9 have kind of been consistently besting them at just about every point. Like, when you just come to head-on-head gunfights, like when Cloud9 really want to take control of something, it just doesn't seem like 9Z have been able to stop it.
Yeah, and that probably, I'm expecting that we'll see more and more of that kind of thing. And that's also where some of the emotional side of the game could be really hard to keep up with when you're faced up versus the kind of people that they're playing against here. It's just so demotivating when you feel like any one of them could potentially take down 2 or 3 of my teammates at any point in time, and it's just very, very hard to hold on to. But we'll see. I feel like they've been fighting back really well, especially Max has been having some shining moments. Rocks as well over at that B-bomb site, so I don't want to sell them. I sell it too early here. It's possible that we could see some more stuff like that. But it has to be early. I think we're all in agreement on that right now. They need to answer back a little bit quick before C9 start to feel too confident. And they're playing kind of slowly again now, leaving space here for the CT side to make a mistake potentially. And Anthony, he's walked right under. Hobbit is going to be dead to that boost anyway, but that's some close timing.
I've got a weird feeling about this round, because that might cause the response of Inters getting a bit info-hungry towards Palace. If NQC finds this kill, it's free map control for 9Z, and now they don't really have to worry about the approach coming through from the A side, or at least from the T-spawn side. Now, the big question mark is middle. Obviously, as time goes on, you're going to start to turn your attention back towards some of these angles, but you can already see Max taking full control of Palace. This is going to be an easy spot for them to play on the retake, if it even comes down to that. But C9 in the 2-on-4 have low health, don't have a lot of time to work with, and don't have that much space either.
Yeah, they're actually in a fair bit of trouble right now. You wonder if they're just going to set up in hope for a mistake from somebody from 9C to do economic damage, but they're no longer trying to win the round here. Wow, that's really well done. And I think you're right, you know, the way that plays out, because they know from the boost that there's going to be 2 people playing around over on the catwalk, and he's probably thinking, all right, well, if there's 2 people that far over, maybe the A player, the A anchor is going to be playing a little bit further back too, so I could go check out what's happening in the Palace, and he just got shut down. So, well done, good read. And that's a 4-on-5. This is pretty respectable. I mean, there's a lot of things working against 9C in terms of the economy and the fact that Cloud9 still can buy into this round. But if they can crack that part of the problem and start to force Cloud9 back into that eco territory, then we've got a real shot here for 9C to do some damage in the first half.
I feel like there's been a couple of these rounds now where C9 haven't even been able to get a bomb plant too, so the fact that they're flip-flopping these rounds means they aren't really able to add up that loss bonus. And the one thing you usually have in this game is that T is just the better part of the economy. It's like you build up that loss bonus to some point, you just are able to get the bomb down and get a buy right after, but that hasn't been the case here because C9 have had such inconsistencies in actually planning the bomb. But still, fairly aggressive setup from 9Z, not giving Cloud9 the respect that they want, and maybe the pressure is starting to be felt.
Close off angle here, which, I don't know, it could work out. David, he's thinking about it. He's got 2 teammates behind him, so if he can get a kill, he could fall back with relative safety. Or if he gets any kind of a hint that something is up, he could try and go for it. Obviously, a scope here from Shure would give the game away. I don't know if David would want to get flashed into that fight. That's a huge 50-50. Even if you think they're on scope, that could be dangerous. And NQC down here looking at that. He's so ready if Nafany wants to go for it. But Cloud9 are being patient right now. Slowed down. They got the mid control, though. They could go for a huge A crunch. But look at the read. 9C, they're actually bringing a lot of people over. They have a huge setup in this bomb site right now.
This is a really good play from 9Z, I feel. I mean, they don't really have much risk being taken here, especially with the aggressive hold, but maybe that is a risk. If you don't hit the shot, well, now you fall into a 4-on-5. Thankfully, NQZ on the off, a couple of chances to bring it back, but the 4-on-4 is taken with happy smiles on their faces. The bomb's dropped as well, so they're going to try to crunch into this A site without the biggest important part of it. Now 2-on-3, smokes bloom absolutely everywhere. The timer, again, ticking against them. Maybe a little bit too much time taken in these early stages. Shoulder spotted to the stairs player, but again, they've got a crossfire set up for this in the flank of Rocks, about to end the round entirely, doubling down, and they tie the game up just like that. The money's still not that big of a factor, but after a round like this, maybe the funds will start to run dry.
Yeah, that's a very nice flank, obviously, and I don't know, some stuff is missing here. I feel like a couple of times right now we've seen Cloud9 try to come out of that connector with no smokes or molotovs or flashbangs or anything to exactly this position that we saw right there from NQC. That's where he got the couple of kills last time with that AWP, and there should be some kind of utility to make his life a little bit more tricky in that moment, and it just hasn't really been there. So Cloud9 definitely suffering a couple of rounds like that. Shiro goes down early in this one, starting at 4 on 5, and a chance right now for the CT side to maybe come up with a bit of a round lead right now. It's an exciting turn of events right now. I think a lot of you were tuning into this match expecting a very, very one-sided affair, so it's awesome to see 9C answering back and putting a little bit of pressure on Cloud9.
And they kind of look good doing it. Like, they seem comfortable with some of these setups they're pulling out. Like, it doesn't seem like they're just giving all this space to Cloud9 for free. Like, they're making them work for every inch. And Cloud9 have to always guess, is somebody going to be here? Is there a CT pushed up aggressive in apps? Because they've done it before.
And they're being very slow, which I don't think is surprising, really, the way that Cloud9 play this T side. But as long as 9C have the advantage, that shouldn't put too much pressure on them. Max moving forward just as the smoke comes in. Maybe there was an opportunity there to see somebody, but he's worried about the potential boost. And a lot of mid presence right now. They still love that B bomb site. They really want to try and see if they go for it this time, though. With a lot of people coming in from the catwalk. So at range, let's see that AK spray. Looked like, oh, is that Galil, in fact. But still, the spray could have been just fine to take down GDT. He's out in the open still, looking for a frag, and he'll take it on Hobbit. Didn't see him with that AWP, and what a defense from GDT. Absolutely well played. Double kill on him, and they have the lead, 6 to 5 right now. This is crazy. I'm really surprised.
Especially with how the game was looking at one point, where, I mean, it's 3 rounds in a row, and all of a sudden, the story flip-flops from Cloud9 not really worrying, or like having to worry about anything, to, well, what can or can't we take? What can or can't we do? 9Z are doing a really good job at putting on the pressure here, and I feel like these crossfires are so fluid. Everybody's starting to show up. I mean, you had DGT there, who I think played the B bomb site to utter perfection, not being in one place at any given time, so it's just always a guessing game for Cloud9.
They're out of money now. This could turn into something special. Everybody, yeah, and DGG, he's up to 8 kills as well. Pretty much the rest of the team is there at the same time. And Cloud9 are not doing enough damage either here. Look at the money that's on that CT side. They started to build it slowly but surely. These Deagles need to get a couple of headshots in this round to just make it a bit more expensive. David, though, good stoppage right now. A couple of headshots to bring down Shiro and Inters as well. This is looking super solid at the moment. Wow, David keeps going, shutting it all the way down. Quad kill. It's just against pistols, but the fact is they don't lose a single player in that round, and now they have a 2-round lead. This is huge.
I just wonder how far they're going to be able to take this. Because Cloud9, like, the pressure's still on them. The rifles coming back out doesn't really ease all their worries. Like, they've still got to answer back to 9Z, who just have looked unstoppable in these past couple of rounds. Like, throwing just about everything at them, even the book. Like, their utility usage has been great. Them taking map control has been really good. Forcing the exact interactions they want to happen has been utterly phenomenal. And they've even been dealing with mid, which was, like, the ace in the hole for Cloud9.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's not like Cloud9 haven't had several opportunities at this point, but they've kind of been taken away. So now everybody's surprised. 13th round. AKs are being brought out right here. And look at the utility that's on that T side. If they, you know, I was complaining about this earlier, how they didn't really throw enough nades and everything else at NQC to try and put that AWP away, but now they don't actually have the nades to do it. So if he's going to keep hitting the shots, this is a great round. Should be a good round for him. They can't. They can throw a couple of smokes and maybe a flashbang or two, but that's not going to be enough on a map like Mirage. They can't create that giant wall if they really wanted to.
They're just playing for info in this round. It's all just playing off the backs of one another. DGT, passive in middle. You've got Max, who was jiggling top con. Still just waiting for Cloud9 to make the first move. With 50 seconds left on the clock, I feel like the timer's really gotten to them in these past couple of rounds, and it might do it again if they don't start to put pedal to the metal. I mean, they're still being met by smokes continuously thrown down, and we're walking into under 40 seconds, finally making a bit of a footstep. With the first fight going their way, things could start to get a bit easier. You've only got one man to go through with the B site, but now you've got the liberty of going to any B part.
And that's what they needed right there, especially that kill on Rocks, but I don't know. I mean, this is an interesting round, but the fact that they ran the clock so low, when they get the opening kills, it looks fine, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of issues, but not a lot had to go wrong in this round for it to kind of backfire on them a little bit. They're super safe at this moment in time, so going to be able to, if they really want to, they can steal that AWP out of Shiro if that's what they feel like. But yeah, nice opening kills in favor of Cloud9 in this one, and that's going to give them a 6th round on the board.
Right, but I mean, I'm with you. It's like, you've always got to think, what if Hobbit didn't get that opening pick? Like, even if the trade comes through, it's still a 4v4. You still don't know what's going on at B. Like, you don't know if that con swing's going to come through. There's a lot of question marks that come alongside the fact of Cloud9 wasting so much time in this round, but I just wonder if maybe eventually they're going to try to go a little bit faster, catch 9Z with their pants down, because it feels like a lot of these times in the early round, they've been setting up with utility, and I feel like there's a lot of room for exploitation there.
Yeah, I mean, 30-some seconds right here. This is just it's a nice little kill. Max trying to relocate to see if he could find anything in the middle, but yeah, 30 seconds. Not that much time when you don't even have the bomb anywhere near. And I think the bomb was coming in from the B hallways on its own, right? There's no one else on that side. So if somehow that lone B defender gets the kill on the bomb up in the hallways and it's stuck in the hallway, now you have to get the kill on him and you have to try and, you know, jump up there from the car. And like, it's a lot of time you have to spend. So definitely a little bit worrisome in that sense. 14th round coming up, though. And yeah, they did get that AWP on Shiro. Hobbit sneaking in, and David in some danger here, whether he knows it or not. Going up the ladder right now would probably be suicide. He's trying for a nice spam. That's all right. I take it all back. Well done.
Well, he didn't go up the ladder. He decided to get a bit creative with it, think outside of the box, but it doesn't matter how you think if you don't have a head. DGT, he's the great equalizer, but that's not going to stop 9Z from pressing forward in a round like this. Rocks on the re-swing. That one's not going to fly. And while we're still on even footing, it could go very poor considering they keep finding these individual players. And a well-placed flashbang for Max is going to mount him a bit of an advantage. Now, the op of NQZ is the next roadblock you've got to go towards. It's a full-on op duel, but again, it's the bomb potentially to be trapped in halls if things don't go their way. And they've also spotted the player trying to come through the rabbit hole, so maybe this is going to be expected. And NQZ swings back in, catches Shiro with the head turn, and 9Z walk away with a guaranteed half win.
Yeah, this is really impressive. David is playing a really, really good game at the moment, shutting down some of these early rounds. This one is, you know, in itself is just a good job, right? But he's finding a lot. He's being very, very active with it. Taking down that A ramp as well.
This is just clean from 9Z. It just feels like now they're actually able to find these responses properly, and they're able to pick apart C9 on the individual front. Whereas in the beginning of this game, they were kind of struggling to do that. Oh,
definitely. And again, it's another round here where there's not that much utility either on the T side. So kind of a sign of the times for them. Oh, Molotov to chase him back. HE might have done the job almost. 16 health left on Hobbit. And once again, the mid control is something that they've been fighting for a lot and haven't really been able to find all the time here. On the T side. Nice little fight for Axile there. Max, they're surely on timer on how long he can stick around. His teammates starting to fall back a little bit on the other side. So, yeah, all right. There we go. Gets the headshot. A lot of patience on that one. I'd say potentially a little bit risky sitting around in the middle like that for a long time, but they get the job done. So back into a 4-on-4 we go.
This is a big deal, too, because they still know 2 players are low. That was all confirmed damage. The dink, the body shots coming through. This is going to be one of those kills finally found, but now they know exactly where the play is going through, and they've just spotted the bomb, too. So C9 have a lot of problems they've got to deal with right now, and not a lot of time to do it. They're running out of utility, too, as well. Like, as the smokes fade, they've got 1 molly, 1 flash to make things work and put these pieces together. But, oh, I thought that was going to be surefire, a kill for David. Now some questions start to arise. They've got players pulled on both sides of the map. Where is this take really going through? 25 seconds, it doesn't even seem like Cloud9 really even know the bomb was going back to T-spawn. But finally, they make their decision. They make their mind up. And Max is still here to try to shut it down. 16 seconds to go, and the bomb, again, yet to be spotted. But they've got somebody at every avenue.
Yeah, they do. And I think you're right. It looked like even Cloud9 were a little bit lost for control in this round. 4 seconds left. Oh, it's too late. They can't get that bomb plant down. What a shocking way to end it. 9-6 in favor of 9C at the start of the half. That is a really, really fine job. Now, whether it's enough to win the map is a different question altogether, but that is still really cool to see. And Cloud9 definitely, I think, stumbling into this game, maybe a little bit confused. I like what I'm seeing here.
This is kind of scary, too, to go against, because historically, on this map alone, 9Z's T side is what sets them apart. That's what usually finds them the most success. So the fact that they're actually able to get themselves a strong foundation on the defense could put up a bit of a wall for Cloud9 to break through. I feel like they've got a really good advantage going into this T side, not just in the round count, but in the fact that Cloud9 don't really know what to do. 9Z have had consistent success from here on out, and this could lead forward to them taking this map by storm.
Yeah, they set themselves up nicely. The confidence is absolutely there. I mean, it helps when you get this good of a first half. Max, 12 kills on him, NQC up at 11, and then everyone else is right behind. It's a full team effort. They should feel really confident right now. See how long that lasts for. Axal will take a good headshot right there with the USP. David out of the round early, unfortunately for him, but good return. And they're going to try and put some pressure on the bombs running up there. They want to go for it right now. Only 2 people defending inside of the A bomb site. DDG will take down Hobbit, and now alone trying to defend it is Nafferty over at the CT spawn. Now Shiro's throwing himself into the mix, coming through the hole inside of the window room, but not in time, really. Inters, there's no reason to fight him here. They don't have to. Just get the bomb down and try and make a run for it. That's all you need.
You know where the last players are, too. CT, Rabbit Hole probably went both around towards together. And now as that smoke's thrown down, it's a big whiff. It doesn't go on the bomb. They can easily see that, so now it's just about waiting. The response needs to be made from Cloud9. It doesn't even seem like they know that the smoke's been missed. Inters finally takes a head off, but with both of them now confirmed and spotted, they just got to stick this inside of the smoke kit. Oh, it almost got the defuse, but DGT luckily peppers in a couple of bullets behind the blind spot and finds 9Z's 10th round. Double digits as Cloud9 are starting to shake a little bit.
Yeah, damn, that was scary, but it worked out. They are, considering the caliber of team that they're up against here, I've got to say, they are playing like they're completely unaffected by the pressure, which is, that's what you want to do, but it's usually really, really hard when you look at the lineup of names on the other side. So, you know, more power to them at the moment. 10-6. Off to a real good start right here on 9C on Mirage. First map, of course, in the best of 3, but you've got to appreciate it. David taking down Hobbit here, and it's not that much weapon. No weaponry at all, really, on that CT side at the moment.
That doesn't even seem like it's a stack on the pistols. Just kind of, I don't know, throw yourselves around, see if you can't find a kill. Maybe we walk away with a frag, maybe we don't. It doesn't really matter. But so far, 9Z are just able to hold on to all of these guns. And I guess that's the big win, right? Just keep the money built up.
That's all they need. I mean, this map was picked by 9C, so there is that to think about, you know. But still, you do want to see Cloud9, even just on skill alone, be able to take some more of these fights. Just because of the caliber. But I mean, on the other side of things, I guess, the level in Counter-Strike in general has just gone up so much even in the last year and a half. It just feels like even teams that we haven't heard about too much or don't necessarily spend a lot of time looking at, a lot of these players are just getting ridiculously good really, really quickly. So, I don't know. I feel like in the past, you know, you scroll a little bit back in history, some of the top teams tended to be top teams for a long time. Like those eras that we all love to talk about, it feels like it's going to be harder and harder right now to build any kind of an era, right?
Yeah, I mean, we saw one from Na'Vi, but look how that went. Not for long.
Yeah.
Thought we'd see one from FaZe, but apparently not. Like, everybody's just so quick to adapt to what everybody else is throwing at them. It's great.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it does make it interesting, right? It's hard to predict almost anything, which is not a bad thing necessarily. Nice nade on a Nafferty down the middle. A lot of control in the middle for Cloud9, but that's not where they need to be right now. This is definitely looking like more of a straight B execute.
I'm all for it. I mean, there's only 2 players here. The response is going to be a bit late, but that's if you need a response at all. Inter has already picked up the opening frag and running through the flames. David will carry for a pick, but now the cavalry's arrived and things are going to get a bit more tricky to find success in. With the bot and the laps of the CTs, it's all a game of how many kills are you going to be able to find before all is said and done. C9 making clockwork of this B take, and it's pretty good at doing so in the process.
Absolutely well done. Once it slows down, that 2-man defense really quickly becomes 3, and then a 4th, it just, you need to be so committed and just follow through on those kind of pushes there if you're on the 9C side. And they got slowed down just enough that it made a difference here. Inters on that opening kill. Yeah, this stuff from David is really good. There was maybe a slim chance here, but once a couple of more seconds go by, yeah, you could see everyone started to show up. So 11-7 is the scoreline, and no bomb plant means this is going to be the last bind for now 9C. So if they come in this round, it's possible that that Cloud9 are going to start to wake up and get back into the game a little bit once again. Pretty much a default spread coming up from the T side. Nothing out of the ordinary. They're expecting for the CTs to be a little bit aggressive, and they want to see if they can catch any of them.
I just wonder what the response is going to be, because if that's to set a story or set a bit of a pace of what we're going to see from the execs from 9Z, it might get ugly. That one was a bit choppy. Couple of missed spacings. It felt like they were having difficulty just going together out of the apartments, finding opening picks. So, I don't know. I mean, the only rounds we saw so far on this T side have just been them being able to find opening picks and press that forward. Again, they want to go towards B, but without cat control, it might just be rinse and repeat of what happened in the previous jump spot coming through right now from Inters, and he's still got plenty of utility to shut this down.
Ooh, a little bit of a spray there from Axile. He's so well versed in that M4A1, so gotta appreciate it. Third kill of the round for him right then and there. Inters looking over the smoke and sees it coming. So falling flat this round a little bit here for the T side, unfortunately. They could have used not just a bomb plant, but some good damage onto an economy which almost doesn't exist for Cloud9. But I mean, again, if they could have taken 2 or 3 kills in this round, it all adds up towards the end of the half. And now instead, looks like a flawless round, and it will be. So they're gonna be happy about this one, Cloud9. 11-8. That's one thing. I don't think they care about the scoreline. They just want to make sure they have that money right now, and then they're going to be able to cruise their way home here. This could easily be a little bit of a turnaround for Cloud9 happening.
Yeah, I mean, again, really nothing to work with in this round. You might just be like one more shutdown rifle round away from tying this game up, all things said and done. So, from that point forward, where's 9Z going to put us? Where on the map are they going to pinpoint themselves? Because I just feel like in these rifle showings, they haven't made any of one on this T side so far.
Okay, trying to be quick with the P250. That would have been a lot of style points if you can run in and hit that headshot with the P250. I don't know if I've seen that, but got to give it a shot. And Cloud9 don't have to do anything in this round, do they? Really? I mean, they can chill out and wait for it. They're all in the middle, but there's no pressure on them to really run out and look for fights.
I feel like there's two kind of P250 players in the world. The ones that just have constant highlight reels with it, and then you just can't do anything with it. I don't think there's any in between on that one.
It's all or nothing, yeah. That's probably true. Yeah, that's how I feel with the Deagle. It's
really?
It's either there are some people who are just born with like really good Deagle skills, and then there's all the rest of us.
I feel like you could kind of just get lucky kills in the Deagle sometimes. Spam it. Oh, totally meant to do that.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Just pretend like it's all good. I like the P250. I don't know. It just feels like it feels nice when you get it feels like you earned it when you get that P250 headshot. I appreciate it. Well, 11-9, 21st round coming up, and limited nades on that T side. Got enough for a decent smoke execute on any bomb site they want to pick, but not really much beyond that. So that is unfortunate.
Ooh, this could be a bit of a bait and switch. Shiro making a lot of noise in from window, maybe trying to sell some presents. Have somebody with their head turned the wrong way as they come up into the connector angle, but no. Oh, wow, Axel doesn't need vision. Nobody does when you got players hitting shots like this. And this is scary, too. I mean, right now you've got Hobbit, who's not really showing up at all for Cloud9, and they're still putting up this much of a good fight. Like, as this series goes on, it's only going to get worse for 9Z. So they kind of need to start waking up.
Yeah, I agree. That is a huge sign of worry. And, a couple of them are playing a good job. Axile has been there pretty much all throughout. But the longer it goes, the bigger the chance is that more of them are going to start to come online. This is a rough beginning of the round. 5-3 right now. Looking to see if they can make it over to the ramp. Sneaking their way through. They need some out-of-this-world headshots to begin this with, to even have a chance at a bomb plant. And look at this. On the CT side, they already know what's coming. They're already starting to gravitate more people over here. Hobbit, you said, not necessarily the best game for him just yet, but even that kill is easy for him to pick up, and they're just going to back on out. Wow.
It's really unfortunate. They just have not gotten anything going in these rifle rounds. Cloud9 have found openers on openers on openers in some of the most crazy ways, too. Like, it's not like they've been given these picks. Like, they have been earning them. And it's again scary to think, but I'd also like to see 9Z prioritize utility a little bit more. I feel like from the get-go, they were kind of relying on them just hitting some nice shots for them to win a round like this.
I mean, especially because, at least on the A-bomb side of this map, you can usually get some pretty decent bomb plants down in there, and if you have a little bit of a protocol for the after plant, you know, the right Molotovs, maybe one more smoke to try and see if you can slow them down. I mean, it's possible to do some real damage. So, yeah, it'd be good to see them try and use a little bit of that. This round, though, is going to be something else, right? 2 AKs, some pistols behind it. So you just want to put those AKs to work and try to find any opening that you can. A little bit of a sandwich towards the middle coming up out of the underpass as well. So, oh, nice. David with the opening on Axile. Nice start here. That's all the way over in Catwalk towards the B bomb side. That isolates that B defense a lot.
It's a gun they could get too. I mean, nobody's able to hold this down, but David's just double entry. He's gotten another in window. Well, there's still 2 defenders on the A site. They're both 1 for 1 right now. If he hits any more nice shots, then this round turns to turmoil. But thankfully, they finally end his little bit of a run. It's not done yet. Again, weapons were able to be picked up, and Rox doesn't stop there. They keep steamrolling into the A site, in which only Hobbit's here to try to respond in from the ramp side. They don't line up for him, and that's going to be the undoing. Left all up to the rotation and inters, and it's nothing but multi-kills for 9Z. A bunch of lucky kills going their way, you can say, but still, they'll take that. Finally, they get back to a winning round on this T side.
That is actually very, very cool. It's a very hard round to win. David opening all of it up. You could see... maybe he doesn't like this fight against Nafany right away because he's already been found out. They already had a little bit of an exchange, and then he's like, you know what? On the other hand, if I don't win this fight, maybe we never even get into the round. So super well done, and then GGT at the end. Wow, this is shocking. Leg shot right in the middle. Max very nearly dead. I don't know if Axel knew or not. That grenade might have got the job done, but 12 to 10 and 9C. This is once again interesting. They're showing us a couple of promising signs here. Something that could work for them to steal this map away. And they probably need to. Again, they did pick the map, so you have to expect that Cloud9 are going to be much better suited for our second map. Nice infiltration here from David. This is, in itself, just a good position to be in.
This kind of feels uncomfortable from Cloud9. With all the space that 9Z have been able to take for almost free, doesn't seem like they know where to look. I mean, you've got, if you take a gander over at Hobbit on the A side, he doesn't know where his attention should be drawn, whether it's towards ramp, to palace, to connector. He's got so many angles to worry about, and that could cause some distress. I mean, with 1 minute to go, 9Z are starting to regroup at that side of the map. The bomb on the back of Rox, and they've got plenty of util to get in, and C9 still don't seem like they know what's going on, really.
No, they're a little bit out of the mix. They don't have any info about what's happening in the middle. Let's see how much they can sell. Oh, no. Max gets blown up. That was a deep grenade from Axile, blowing him right up. But, oh, Shiro, what a save. And he's back with a shot, taking down GDT. And he knows there might be an open play. He's going to try and see if he can flash him out of that position. And NQC, what a madman. He runs forward once he's flashed. Instead of running back and hiding in the palace, he just wants to see if he can push it. He's on his own, though. And Nafany will take him down. So... nice attempt. That almost could have worked. If Shiro hadn't been at the bomb side to save his teammate, I think they might have cracked it open.
That was all calculated from C9, I think. That molly tells me almost everything. It's like, you see the fact that they gave up connector control. They just wanted to hold on to Palace, ensure that they couldn't plant for CT. I think that was the play from Cloud9, because that molly comes over the top of CT, over into the to the spot where you could plant on the triple boxes, and 9Z get nothing because of it. That's exactly what they were trying to do.
24th round here. This is getting a bit close once again. And the money is not with 9C, so they need this round badly. They need to step it up right now. They could put some distance between themselves and Cloud9 if they win this one. So let's see if they're going to be able to. Shiro with the opening, taking down Rox, and NQC falls next. Shiro just out by that triple box, having no problem at all, feeling no pressure from either the ramp or the palace. Just able to take that fight down the middle. And that is a bit rough. A 5-on-3 to start this round with.
And they're leaving Hobbit all by his lonesome here. With this big advantage, they can take a risk like this. They can afford it. Maybe not the best course of options, but still not really going to come back to haunt you yet through the smoke, David. Oh, that could have been a big pick. Not only the bomb, but a 5-on-2 would have been next to unwinnable if it wasn't already. And they still don't even know that this double op is in play from Axile.
It looked like that was about to connect, didn't it, through the smoke? I thought the same thing, but at least they managed to live through that for now. 45 seconds though, and look at the mid control that's here for the Cloud9 side, and they got that deep angle into the B hallways. They know everything they need to know right now on the CT side. They're not worried at all.
Yeah, this one kind of just seems like it's scraping sticks and stones together to try to find any form of success. I mean, you'd be lucky to get a plant, but I think 9Z already kind of have the game plan called to just pull it into a save. Money is really a big issue for them right now, as they still haven't been able to get anything going, and they're going to have to work without the big green coming into these next couple of rounds. Not that I feel like it's done much on this T side, but that's just the start of their troubles. They're still going to be missing utility, and that's if they're allowed to save these guns.
Yeah, looking just a bit is Nafany. He realizes what's up. It's probably worth it. I mean, he's got 5,000 in the bank. If he could find a kill right now, I mean, that would take a lot away from the T side, but he's not going to be able to. Ties up the scoreline 12-12, which, with the money that's building on that CT side and the way that Shiro is playing with that AWP, I'm starting to get a little bit worried now for the underdog team.
And that's another round where they literally don't even get a kill. So, yeah, no, money is going to be a bit of an issue. I'm with you. It almost feels like it's incomprehensible at this point. It feels like Cloud9 are going to have buys for just about the rest of the game. So, it's really all about what 9Z can do tactics-wise. Can they get into these sites? Can they demand some respect from Cloud9? Can they actually show that this T side is going to be able to be consistently made of something? Because so far, it's just kind of been piece by piece. It doesn't feel like most of these rounds have been all because of them. Right? The one round they win, it was a double entry up connector. It was a bit messy from Cloud9. And they haven't really let those mistakes shine again.
They need to pull it together. They don't have a lot of runway left at the moment. You could start to tell. Yeah, wow, the money. There's almost 10,000 on 3 of the players there on the Cloud9 side. That is a little bit disturbing. Well, we're going to find out some pressure onto that A ramp. They're going to put out the smoke right away. And looked like they wanted to follow through, but I guess not. They changed their minds. I'm not sure what changed it.
I mean, it was the wiser call. You had an op staring right at the barrel of A-ramp, so you were not going to make it out of there without taking casualties. Maybe it's about selling a bit of a fade, pulling some rotations, but Cloud9 are not budging whatsoever. I mean, this is just going to be a re-exec into a very still stacked up A site.
I mean, they dodged some of the flames down there, so we'll see. But
Sure.
again, the mid control. I mean, look at how close they are. They almost have 4 people at the bomb side. This could be a real nightmare.
Still going to have to walk through this op. They're just waiting. Maybe for these smokes to fade. I think they really want to get DGT in on this A take. Be a bit of a mispronged approach without him. But Cloud9, dude, they keep relentlessly throwing in these bits of utility. And Shiro, finally, after all of his waiting and patience, catches David lurking out through the smoke. And they realize it's about time they just cut their losses and see if they can't make it work as they barrel out through his smoke. The Apex angle is not going to help Rock. Shiro from triple on the op once more. He smells it. Blood in the water. 4 is all he'll get, but he'll take it with glee. Cloud9, their first lead of the whole game.
Yeah, it's crazy you say that, right? That's not, I think, what most people were expecting, but you're right, this is the first lead that they have in the map, and honestly, though, that performance from Shiro right here, that has to feel so defeating if you're on the 9C side. Your chances now of getting back into it when you run into this kind of a one-man army, it's just absolutely absurd, especially the kill that he got up on Palace right there. 23 kills that he's clocking in at right now. And the scoreline is 13-12. Again, no bomb plant. Round loss bonus. Sure, it started to kick in, but I don't think that's what's going to save them. We'll see. Smoke in the window. It's going to be a quick flash to set something up here, but already naded and Molotov, so I take it back. They're going to have to be slowed down, and that the problem is now there's more defense here. They've got 3 people ready to go.
It's the definition of insanity, man. They keep trying this speed play, and it seems like it keeps not working. Axile finally gets to activate on that double op, and it's back-to-back op clips for the likes of Cloud9. Another big multi-kill, and it's Shiro to top it all off. 14 for C9, and 9Z might be close to giving their last breath on Mirage.
Damn, what a rough turn of events after what is honestly such an impressive performance from 9C. But right at the end here, it's been, what, 4 in a row right now for Cloud9. And I think none of them have been even bomb plants, right? They ran out of time the one time, and they had a couple of rounds where they had... So yeah, no bomb plants for the last 4 rounds. They're getting shut out of the second half in a big way.
It's kind of sad to see. I mean, I come into this half kind of praising 9Z for where the T side looked previously. I mean, against Furia, they looked really good. I believe they had 10 rounds against them. And that's from the T side. So It's just so hard for them to find any consistent success here. I mean, it almost feels like they're next to giving up. It's like those smiles quickly turn to frowns, and it almost feels like this one's already over.
Yeah, it's trending in that direction, no doubt about it. 14-12. Okay, well, I don't feel like Cloud9. The problem is as well, they're not being put under enough pressure that they even have to change their default approach to these rounds, right? They still have that really rock-solid mid-centric defense. And what it means is, right, they can quickly be at the A-bomb site if they need to. They can quickly have 3 people at the B-bomb site. So until 9C find a way to break that open, any bomb site they attack right now is going to be... It's going to be hard to stop there being a whole lot of defense there. Nice trade this time around. We appreciate that. David taking down Axile.
Oh, David, he's just caught the timing of his life. 2 CTs, unbeknown to what's just happened. He's come up connector and caught Hobbit coming back up through the rabbit hole. And now there's a way for them to crack open into this A site. He wants more, and he's found it. Another double entry right up connector. David, he has almost single-handedly won both of these rounds for 9Z. And I guess maybe there is still a bit of hope from this T side, but that's not to be said this is done yet, because maybe they're still looking to do a little bit of damage in this 2-on-4.
Yeah, well played, David. Especially that one through the smoke. That's disgusting. I don't think he knew that, but that was just a little bit of a guess, and it's amazing. It works. NQC taking down Shiro, who's otherwise been the bane of their existence for a minute here on the map. Inter's going to have to back on out and just try and save this. That's really well done. Well played on David's side. I mean, the fact that he got a triple is nice, but the first kill, even sneaking through, is just... That's a lot of work on his part. So... They start to pick it up again. The problem again, look at the money on the Cloud9 side. That's the part that they have to fight through, but still, not at all a bad job.
I mean, at least this time they get to add more utility to their belts. I feel like last time that happened, it was still like Galil's all over the place, maybe only a couple of smokes and flashes. Now they've got the whole 9 yards, so there shouldn't really be anything holding them back from doing whatever they want to in this next round. It's like they can go for maybe some fakes, try to put the pressure on, like we said, maybe really work back at what C9 have been doing in middle like they did here, and maybe start to bring this game back. But if it's another one of those rounds that just goes 1 for 1, then it seems like the story will just be the exact same.
Yeah, it very well could be. Again, it takes a couple of rounds like the ones that we've seen here where, you know, this time it was David getting a triple kill, but they probably need some heroic performances like that. Honestly, I mean, no matter what happens here, I'm super impressed by 9C. 13-14, they're within striking distance. They could even win this map if they have 2 rounds, you know, back to back like this, where they have a couple of players that pop off and get some double or triple kills. They might just get to the finish line before Cloud9 does, and then who knows what happens, right? I'm sure Cloud9 must be thinking the same thing, that this should be a little bit of an easier affair. Nice opening. It's David again, taking down Shiro. And now Hobbit, you could tell he's under a lot of pressure. Nafany trying to help him out. Hobbit, though, taking 2 of them with him into the grave. That's an expensive price to be paying right there. And it's NQC and Max left, and I'd say just as he goes down. NQC on his own, 1 versus 3, and the Flames will consume him at the end. Axile able to defend 15-13. But still, man, what an opening for David. He's showing us a lot right now.
I thought they had it too. I mean, they had the right read. They popped out through the palace smoke. Nobody was looking at it. They catch Shiro with his head turned and stares, completely unbeknown to what was going on. The problem just starts to rise that Hobbit is somehow able to get to. I mean, the first, you kind of understand it. You don't think he's going to be able to be there considering all the mollies, but then the trade was late. Then people started running through smokes for Cloud9 to make sure they could really pounce on what Hobbit had just done. And it is right back at them, right? 15-13, 2 chances to go to Dust 2, them being the favorites. And if they weren't already favorites enough, it feels like, again, 9Z just hit this roadblock that Cloud9 won't consistently give at.
It's looking good right here. David, he's back at it, though. Getting more entries. You got to give it to... Even if he goes down like that, it's so worth it. It's so hard to do. And, if, you know, Cloud9's team, that's not easy to get. And that's one of the big issues playing against them, is they can be very hard to find some of these fights and have them cleanly, but, you know, more power to him. Shiro showing up, making a bit of noise, and that actually distracts. Inter's able to get the kill because they were all looking down towards that catwalk instead. Close range with the Deagle. Even after the nerf, it can still do some damage. And Shiro now closer with the AWP. Instant no-scope, and he likes him to follow it up. It's a headshot from Inter's, and it's a 16-13 win for Cloud9 on that opening map. But man, 9C, they absolutely surprised me here. I was not expecting that.
Still, though, that's CT.
On Dust too, right? Like even when they're playing the CT side, they're going to be able to do almost anything. Ooh, Cloud9, yeah. So like I just think there's going to be no slowing them down on this one. So I'm ready for it though. We'll see if we're right in our predictions here. Cloud9 on the T side and 9C on that CT side, and already trying to take a little bit of a find out here. We do have at least one P250 being picked up at the moment, so Shiro could do a little bit of damage with that, but they're taking this slow to begin with.
Just trying to work apart the picks. I mean, it's what they've done before, and apparently I was wrong. So they will start on the CT set again, so hopefully they're able to show something off. I mean, remember the last CT pistol on Mirage? They looked good out of the gate, but just slow on the finish. Now I feel like they've given up a bit too much space, more than I'd like. It's a bit worrying, but the flash comes back in, so DGT gets info on Catwalk. Maybe all mitigated for the time being, but C9 aren't just going to stop there.
They're going to try and see if they can put some pressure on. That's a lot of utility in the middle for a pistol round. Smoke and Molotov to try and do this B split, but maybe it's going to pay off. They've left one person down the middle. I think Shiro waiting for anyone to show up, and they entry that bomb side, no problem. And look at Shiro. He's inside of the smoke waiting. They just, oh, they're already falling back. He's hearing it. Could take the fight. If they're trying to go on through, he would have been ready for that as well. So they had everything covered. This is a very well-planned round coming out from Cloud9 to start this with.
I think Shiro just intentionally went like further in the smoke to block them from coming through on CT.
Yeah, it's possible. It did look like he bumped into them, right?
I think he did it intentionally because it looked like they wanted to burst through to try to find an opening pick.
And they're like, "Damn! Like we can't even get through the smoke. Just walk away. It's not worth it." Wow, shut down. Even trying to save the guns didn't really work out. So 1-0 lead for Cloud9. By the way, I should warn everyone who's listening. There is kind of a thunderstorm that's rolling over where I live. So if there's anything loud happening in the background, it's just a little bit of thunder. We'll all be all right.
You're telling me it's not the roaring force of Cloud9 on their T side?
Well, hopefully it'll match that. If we can get some synchronized AWP and thunder, at the same time, that'd be really sweet. I'd appreciate that. So,
I guess you'd call it a lightning strike.
Yeah, exactly. If you had the skin for it as well, damn, like we line up perfectly. We do live in a simulation, so I don't want to rule it out. It's possible. David, he was, I think, one of the real revelations on that first map. He played really well. Not a lot of respect for Cloud9, which is not a bad thing. So you want to see him keep that kind of style up. And I think we were talking about this in the break, but I feel like I was expecting C9 to actually play even slower than they did. And I think this game will be much harder on 9C if that happens on Dust 2. Because playing against a slow team is just, man, it's not a lot of fun. It could be hard.
Alongside that, so far I feel like 9Z haven't really shown too much of an aggressive face. Whereas the changes on Dust 2 now, I feel like you kind of got to do that. You can't really give up mid control for free, I feel. I mean, yeah, you've got, right now, the Deagle tucked into that longhouse, but still, it's not really going to help your site take much. Like, if they come barreling up Catwalk, go 2 for 2, what are you really going to do?
Yeah, I don't know what the plan. Just hope to hit a lot of headshots in a row. That's got to be the plan, right? There's not much else happening here. David, though, ooh, nearly with the timing, sneaking up to top mid. They're going to come back, look for him. 30 seconds on the clock. The bomb is making its way. This could get a bit awkward. Yep, the bomb is down outside. Nice shots from Max as well. And now they're in trouble. 20 seconds right here. Cloud9, they can't really give this round away. This is a little bit too early. They get into the bomb site at the very least. They're going to get a bomb plant 2 on top. So 2 versus 3 for the after plant. And let's just see if 9C could pull it back here and actually retake the bomb site.
Yeah, but now there's rifles to work with, and NQC long distance has just hit the dink of his lifetime on the MAC-10, leaves it all up to Hobbit, and from the side, DGT closes it down. So well played by a 9Z on the Deagles, who I had just doubted, proving me wrong.
Okay, well, that is a little bit of a switch around, especially when David fires the first shot and doesn't quite hit the instant headshot there, and they come back from. You think, all right, that could be it, but then they lost both the fights outside of the B bomb side. That was the beginning of the end right there. So David, he might initially not have done a lot more than just kind of distract him a little bit, but even that counts. Oh, that's a flick and a half right there. My God, just deleted Shiro, didn't he?
Of course, it's like after you miss the D shot on the guy not looking at you too. It's just always how it turns out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a classic. But damn, he made up for it. It's no problems. Well, 2 people in the middle for the 9C side. Max and DGT both ready, looking right over the smoke. That is a nice one-way setup. And that puts a little pressure on the rest of the T side. Look at it, they're all in upper dark. They probably feel like we almost have to go, but that Molotov is going to slow us down.
Still a little bit of utility left to pepper in. Rocks all by his lonesome at the B plate, but there's a quick response being met in the lower tons. Max, as soon as they make the push, he'll be right on their heels. He spotted the bomb too. It's all about staying alive or maybe even finding a kill. Cherry on top, but no. Only a dink is found. They burst into the B site. Should be able to get these digits punched in, but it's the retake that has my worries because we saw it last time. It didn't go all too well. And the mistimed flashbang's going to be the undoing of Axile as people fall left, right, and center. It's Inters alone with the Tech-9 pulled out. There's players at just about every turn. Maybe he finds the first one. There's a couple of low targets to go through right now. Max is the headline, and he spotted them both coming out through the tunnels, but still stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's pulled it back just a little bit. NQZ from the high ground, though, finally ends it, and 9Z again on the B retake, no less. Double up.
I don't know, man. That looked like if he'd had one bullet on Max, he would have had the 1v1, and he might have been able to win that Tech-9 versus a Deagle coming through the window. That is super scary, and I love the idea of flashing away to retake upper dark, you know, to not just get locked into the bomb. So that's a really cool idea for Cloud9, but what a victory here for 9C. They're going to be loving this one. Close round, all things considered, but yeah, that flashbang just not quite deep enough to do some real damage. This is a scary 1 versus 4, basically, but it worked out. 2-1 in favor of the CT side. All right, but I mean, again, this is, they're turning this into a really cool game, 9C. You got to give them a lot of credit for what they're doing here.
Opening tag, though, is going to force them away from Catwalk. That's their primary force holding on to what's going on in the middle, so now they've given up a bit of a blind spot for C9 to work with. Ooh. Okay.
It's just, whatever. Beating it.
Go off.
Not interested. Yeah, good tag. You're right to start with. Now they got that catwalk control out on long as well with Hobbit with the P250. If they can create enough of a distraction on long to pull David away from that position, then maybe there is a way to do this. But NQC standing on his own, no problems at all. He's got some backup here, so they should be able to keep him down at long. But David is starting to make his way there. Nafferty with a headshot, run and gun. That is one hell of a kill. And Inters coming out. And now at long Hobbit, there's no one there to fight, but this is way more than you were expecting from the T side. It's a good job so far.
This is still so close, too, because DGT's been low since the start of the round. There's a little bit of utility to try to get back in on this, but that nade's not going to do all that much. And this scout, all it's got to do is maybe put an extra tag onto the plate of them. Hobbit going to hear the footsteps, but can't capitalize on the kill. And now they're starting to be pincered in once again. Back-to-back-to-back retakes attempted for 9Z. And they've all felt like they've gotten closer than they should have in the previous, but finally, 9Z find a bit more of a comfortable way to close it out. And with 3 players left alive, they maintain some cash, too.
Yeah, the problem was, even they had a couple of rifles there at the end, right? A scout and an AWP, but they're locked in the bomb site, and they just can't escape. They don't have any tools or anything to create, like, no smoke to create a wall to play around. It's a miserable place to be in that after plant. But the fact that they even got the plant and got a couple of kills is still a pretty good job, given what they had in the round. So you've got to respect that.
I swing from Hobbit's kind of everything, too. I feel like they had a bit of a crossfire going. I mean, I questioned it for a second, but I think the scout was posted on the long swing to try to catch him if he ended up coming out, but Hobbit just committed a bit too early. And, well, I mean, I like the overzealousness on the gunfight, but it just doesn't work out.
That would have been something if they could have won the fight, the secondary fight out at long when he came in for it. If they could have picked that one up, it would have been maybe a chance, but 3-1 in favor of 9C. And again, this is the map pick of Cloud9, so you've got to feel like this is setting it up nicely at the moment. DGT, nice jump. Grenade to follow it up. Didn't really do enough there, but it's a good idea. We appreciate it nonetheless. Some pretty standard control coming out right now for the T side, so nothing much to write home about at the moment. Checking out that catwalk position. Actually going quite far on that catwalk with just 1 flashbang. So if someone was playing close on that corner with the AWP, it could have been a little bit scary. Yeah, NQC's further back though.
I like the confidence here from 9Z, just playing it on the retake, considering how successfully the previous ones have gone. Finally, the cat smoke exec thrown through with the nades to respond, but you still got to walk to the op of NQZ, and giving it 1-for-1 picks is not the way to go about it. And I love that. They just get the opener, walk away, 5-on-4, and just look to play the retake. But Axile's not happy with it. Brings a kill back. Max not going to be able to fire off in this round. And well, there's CTs everywhere. They're about to be picked apart 1-for-1 unless David hits a shot like that. Bomb goes down. They're still looking for more. Nafany deep towards CT. Almost gets the double, but already does more than he should have been asked upon. 2-on-3. It's not unwinnable, but still unlikely. Shiro with his op have got to get some work done.
Yeah, there is a smoke on Shiro, and there's one on MQC as well, so it could be a big difference maker right now with those smokes in play. Shiro able to take down the enemy AWPer, and that's a nice kill. Brings it back a bit. David wants to come and fight, and he will tap away to take down Shiro, all on Inters. And what a nice crouch right under the box on GDT to take him down, and they have some time here as well. No kit in play, but they are pretty fast with it. Oh, they might not actually have enough. Oh, this is heartbreaking. They got everything, and oh no, right at the end, it blows up. They get to steal the AWP, man. They were less than a second away, I think. Maybe less than half a second away from getting that defuse.
Crazy. Milliseconds, man. It's the difference of literally jumping on top of the box, like, to get to site faster, and just running around through the ramp side, which he did.
Yeah.
Gonna kick yourself for that one, too.
For Cloud9, though, I mean, that they win that round, but that's not a round that inspires a lot of confidence. They had to fight real hard for it, and they only won it because of, yeah, like you said, maybe one slight misstep on the way to the bomb, and that's it. Out fighting long. I'm shocked that David pushed through that one. That is so dangerous, and Hobbit will take him down. That's a very bold move. But there's more people out here, and running through the smoke with the knife out, maybe not quite the best idea. GDT will take him down, but I don't know why they're coming through this. Surely not the Molotov you want to throw through, but more the flashbang in that moment. So they get hard stopped out there.
Felt like it was desperation, too. I don't really know what the play was. Maybe trying to catch him falling back to the site, which he was, but still, you just give up an advantage of a lifetime there. And even with him prepping bullets in behind the smoke, sure, it's the OSP, you still would have heard it. Now DGT's the next target, but almost caught with a smoke pull. Maybe he will be. No! Still gets the gun back out in time, and now it's all about playing the distraction for the MOUZ up catwalk. Max, doesn't matter what gun he's got in his hands, he still looked great with it all game. And again, it's left to Inters, the lowest of the bunch on 18 health. Just a sly nade will take care of him.
Man, this is so interesting. From sort of barely winning a round into getting shut down real hard. And again, I was questioning David and even DGT's ability to stick around out there. I think it's so scary to take that fight on the CT side, but they did it with no respect, and it worked. Max will take down Inters at the end. I love the fact that they seem completely unfazed by the fact that they're playing Cloud9 here. A great mentality.
Which is just a shocker, right? Coming into this event, considering the amount of teams they've lost to, that I'd argue, obviously, are better than them, but not as good as Cloud9. It's been so surprising to watch this run so far, and maybe the fact that they're here, like, in playoffs, kind of sparks some further confidence from them that we haven't seen before. Just knowing, hey, something's working. This is going well. So, maybe that's the reason they're so confident here.
Yeah, it certainly feels like it. You know, if Cloud9 end up winning this in a 2-0 fashion or even in a 2-1 fashion, everyone's going to kind of shrug their heads and say, all right, whatever, you know, it's fine. That's it. That's what we were expecting. But for Cloud9, or sorry, for C9, there's 9C, there's not a lot to lose here. If you lose this game, then no one will be really mad at you necessarily. But if you're doing what you're doing now, a lot of people are going to be impressed. So it almost feels like it's a little bit of a win-win for them at the moment. DGT is up 10-2 at the moment, so he's having himself a game. And Max, I thought was playing really well on Mirage, and he's doing a fine job right now. 7-3 in his favor. So he's doing he's putting in some work too. And they're out of money again on the T side. Wow.
Yeah, no, this is just another eco take up cap. See if we can't get the bomb down. Maybe take away the op, force a couple of rebuys, because, I mean, all due respect to 9Z, their money's just not that great. Like, yeah. DGT's got the most of the, or rather, no, NQC, but they're still all sitting around that $2,000 to $3,000 range, if not less, and that kind of means anybody who falls here, it's a big L to take, especially against pistols. Oh, okay. I'm a bit worried there, but then I realized it's just Glock, so it should just be a bit of a firing range for him.
Yeah, that was scary, though. He didn't have any head armor either, so something you might want to eventually try to pick up. Even if it's the CT side, you know, you maybe don't care as much about head armor, but against Glocks like that, yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit more. 5-2. Man, this is, again, not what I was expecting. I don't know why I keep being surprised, because they did play really well on Mirage, but I guess it's just like the brand power of a team like Cloud9. You think this, yeah, they're going to shut this down, but apparently they're not.
And, I mean, this is kind of a leg up from what we saw from their CT side on Mirage, where it got off to a bit of a slow start. It was really C9 setting the pace from the get-go. It's just 9Z, maybe a couple of slips, couple of gaps in the armor, but nothing too big for C9 to really abuse. Like, everywhere they've gone, they've met some pretty good resistance, whether it be on retake, on the initial holds. Like, 9Z have just been able to gather control of things really well on this map.
Yeah, they're putting in some real work at the moment. Double position it long with NQC holding the A bomb site on his own with that AWP. Yeah, we're going to see him right here around the corner. So a bit of an off angle, but I like it anyway. No real mid control, so that's the real weakness here. Mid to B split right now should be pretty devastating for 9C's defense, unless Max can kill a lot of people in the middle by the time they come out. But they don't have a lot of time to do it, and I feel like Cloud9 have the right read. They have the right idea.
Yeah, the only thing stopping this B take from working is a Molotov, and I can't imagine they don't either smoke that or just end up going through it. It shouldn't be the end-all, be-all. It's really, I feel like, only going to depend on if C9 get the trades right, or if 9Z just Swift, which I guess we've seen a couple of times before. But now, as this has been spotted, as ZGT's been able to get a bit closer over in CT spawn, he'll dump in the nade, maybe call for some long-range reinforcements, but Max has already dealt the first blow. It's just not enough. Can't get the response. Rocks falls, and I think 9Z just call it off.
Yeah, that's the tough part of that position for Max, right? Is he has to get the kill and pretty much spin around instantly to be ready to take a fight. And even if he does, there's a good chance that there are some flashbangs following, so he's going to turn around into the flashbang. It's a lot to deal with. Still, not bad at all. Hobbit, nice awareness to spot the top of his head there. NQC gets taken down. And now the question is, could they save that AWP and keep it alive? He's been pretty good with it, so that AWP could be real valuable right now. But a good call from Cloud9 either way to get into this third round. Not bad.
I feel like it's crazy because C9's only success has actually just been getting onto sites. It's been retakes that have really been winning this game for 9Z, I feel. And that's just kind of mind-boggling when you think of Dasu, right? Like, they've won 3 B-site retakes. Sure, a couple of them were against pistols, but there was a rifle round thrown in there that they won. They won retakes on A multiple times, and while maybe it's a little bit more forgiving, it's just not what you think of on a CT side of this map.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You know, the fact that they picked the map and some of the players that we talked about. I mean, remember what Shiro was playing like a Mirage or Exile? They've got 2 kills each. So some of the confidence and maybe some of the reasons why you'd want to pick Cloud9, easy to pick this map, they're not really showing up yet. It's early days, kind of, still in the first half, but I don't know. I'm certainly getting a little bit worried myself here.
Oh, this op could do some scary things. I mean, we've yet to see Max post up on this angle. We've seen some lower tons aggression, but will they take in mind that the op could be the one holding this? They've yet to give him a peek, but this is only going to favor the likes of 9Z as time goes on. But not if they've dropped that pick already. Smoke not in, and this double op of NQZ is the only one left to respond. Finally, they get the bits of utility out, and they already are calling it off.
Yeah, that's the problem with the double op, though, right? Who in their right mind wants to retake the B bomb site with a double op setup? I think hanging around for the potential to get the cross smoke, if they were to cross without a smoke, maybe get that flick shot on them, but without it, I don't know. That's gonna be a hard one to throw away. And I love the push down in lower dark from Max. What a great idea! But Cloud9 just absolutely out-called them in this round in terms of the play. It was pretty much perfect. So they're gonna get a 4th round on the board, but. Yeah, tough to cancel that round. And what an entry, by the way, that was from Inter. Sneaking through the smoke like that, he could have got caught easily.
Rox has been having a really tough going of it at the B site, though. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of times where he's just kind of getting flashed off of angles, maybe untimely peeks. We saw that where they ended up rushing B with Matt Tattens, where he just sat behind the big box, just got flashed at the worst time, and that's been happening consistently to him now. So that's got to be frustrating for him. But I guess still they've got a 1-round advantage, but that cash, not looking too great. This is probably one of the last buys you're going to get.
Yeah, and you don't want to run out now. I mean, they're close to doing it. They're in a good position right now. It's not like Cloud9 have an endless amount of funds either. So if they can get back to the action here and save their own economy, they might still be able to build a really respectful first half here, a respectable first half. 5-4 right now, the scoreline. Cloud9 getting some great calls. I feel like that's the other part of it. Some of these rounds have been won by good mid-round decisions from Cloud9, more than just straight-up winning ridiculous fights necessarily, which, I mean, that's also a super valid way to win a round, but Sucks for 9C because they've been ready to fight when it comes to the aim. They seem like they can do that, no problem.
Yeah, I think C9 have finally identified that weakness. I mean, they were already having some pretty good success at actually getting out of sights, but now they're closing out post plants really well, or they're just finding all the kills they need to ensure 9Z, okay, we shouldn't go for this. We should just back away. We should just save our guns. And at the same time, still putting the pressure onto them to know that the money is in a bit of a tricky spot.
NQC again, that same off angle. He didn't get spotted here earlier. Could be a hard position to play if they throw a good flashbang or anything like that. Smoke as well is going to make him escape. I think he wanted to push forward to take that fight, but not quite able to. I like the idea anyway. He's very confident. He has a good reason to be. He's been playing, I think, a cool game so far. 40 seconds on the clock and still a 5-on-5, although NQC is trying to change that fact. Going to get that first flick, nearly gets his head. I can't believe Nafali's still alive, and he gets the headshot in return. NQC is going to feel like he got absolutely robbed right then and there. 4 versus 4. They don't have long control, though, but they do have that lower dark position, so they're never going to be worried about getting flanked from Catwalk. And this is going to be a real tough retake. They might not even be able to.
A lot of utility, though, so I imagine they give it a little bit of a look in, but no, finally, you're right. They do just call it off. This kill could come through in middle, though, from David on the long flank. No, he just ended up going back to T-spawn. I mean, there is a world there where I feel like David finds a kill in middle. Maybe they start to cheat back into it, but realistically, it is just about holding out of those weapons in which they might lose all of them. Max so low with the op on the B play, and his teammate is just nowhere to be found. He's getting flanked even from the Tun side. They know he's all by his lonesome. They want to take the op out of his hands, and he just missed a flick on Ashiro. This is such a big pick to find in the Glocks on the flank. He's not getting away with it. David, the only one saving, as Cloud9 tie it up.
Man, some tough losses in some of these rounds right here. The margins are thin. If NQC hits that second shot all the way and doesn't tag that little, whatever it is, barrel that's up there made of, I don't even know, straw, like how does it even stop an AWP bullet? But it did. If he gets that kill, then they probably shut it down and win the whole round, no problem, right? They're playing a 5-on-3 at that point in time, and then I expect they're going to win that round. So not a lot making the difference there between winning or losing. But lose it they did, tying it up 5-5, and yeah, that Cloud9 economy, it's starting. It's enough now that they could lose around and still buy, right? So just got a little bit worse for 9C in terms of making the comeback here and actually winning the map.
It's crazy because 3 rounds ago, like, you'd probably be saying an entirely different thing, and I mean, you're not wrong. It just looks totally different in the past couple of engagements from Cloud9. They've just woken up, they've turned it around, they've turned the ship back in the right direction, and 9Z kind of starting to look a bit beat at their own game here. I mean, you see a lot more explosive plays from Cloud9. As I say that, Shiro does just that, pops out long, and pops the chest of David for an opening pick, and they keep going forward.
DGT trying to get the back end of the swing of things. Going to be at least one good kill in return. They have the right idea. You could see Max is looking for anything that might be happening in Upper Dark. Inter is so far back, and they still have 1 minute and 20 seconds, so they don't have to really rush into anything right now on the Cloud9 side. You see Hobbitt's going to see if he can, throw that headshot smoke down the middle. No problem. That's a pretty... He's got that in the backbone. Max, though, yeah, good position. They weren't ready for it. Inters, he was a little bit paranoid, but that is a good job. 3 versus 4 now.
That's a bit of a miss, Molly. He's going to slow down Axile a little bit. Still needed to wait anyway. The bomb's making its way on the transition around through T-spawn, but he wants to do some damage before all is said and done. Clear out a path to get his boy in and make sure they can play this post plant, but that's not going to happen if Max keeps firing off like he is. Already a second of the round, and now this bomb's got to make its way on the cross. Maybe you just try to have Shiro bait off of Hobbit's jump. Maybe run boost. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Get Shiro over there on the op, and I guess if there's anybody you want in the middle of the site, it's the op.
Yeah, for sure. Shiro definitely could do a lot of damage here. That was a very half-hearted kind of run boost. That looked like if someone had actually been looking, he might have been dead. So I don't know about that one. Rox is playing real close, and they're going to be flanking out long as well. If they win the fight at long, it's pretty much game over, right? There's almost no way Shiro can hold this on his own. So the question is, oh, wait a minute. They're questioning, they're doubting themselves now, and I'm getting really worried for them here. They don't currently have a kit picked up either, so they got to speed it up. Hobbit goes down. It's a good start, but it's maybe not enough. Oh, they find him out in the open. NQC to take him down. The Molotov not going to spread and stop the defuse, I think. So they should be fine here. This time, even without the kit, they're going to be in time for it. A huge round win right here for 9C. They needed this a lot.
That would have been heartbreak central, too, if 9Z lost that. From where they were sitting, with Max having full control of tons, knowing it's going A, the fact that they get that bomb down, play the 2-on-3, I feel like that was still closer than it should have gotten.
Whew, yeah, definitely was. Definitely was. But good retake right there. And without the kit in play, you just never know. We already saw it, the heartbreak once, but this time... pushing down through the middle into lower dark. The smoke is a little bit suspicious, so I'm sure that someone's going to be calling it out from the Cloud9 side. Yeah, you can see Hobbit's looking for it. So they know that something is up, but how do they deal with it?
I wonder if this is just a read from Max, because the last time he went here with the op, they ended up going B, but they just didn't jiggle far enough. So now he wants that deeper angle, and they've got the establishment on middle too. Oh, what a molly from Cloud9. It's the perfect bait and switch, but they didn't expect a double play to be set up there, and the double ops, no less, the ones answering already for 9Z. Still, he's trapped in the lower tons. There's no exit avenue. He's got to fight with his back against the wall. From every angle, there's T's looking to take him down, licking their lips with the prospect of taking this gun away from him, but Inters knows giving away this pick would be a fatal mistake, but at the same time, 9Z are on a bit of a flank of their own. He's got to make a move here, and thankfully Max misses, so there's a world for Cloud9 to pull this back.
Oh, but look at Rox. He's taking up this position. Oh, no, they're going to come in from T-spawn as well. They might spot him way earlier. He could have lined up way more than that, and I'm surprised that he's still alive. How is this happening? Oh, man. There's a million things happening in that 1 second. The fact that they came in from T-spawn could have ruined the whole round for him, but somehow, I guess they were even more surprised than he was, and they just weren't ready for it. That is interesting. Nice shot from NQC down the middle, and this surely will be another round in favor of 9C. What absolute madness.
So many things had to go their way, too. I kind of wonder if that was also another read from them, right? Where they had that second player in lower tons. Obviously, there's a world where it's just, okay, you wanted to back up the op, but you saw how much further forward he was. I feel like still they would have been able to take out that op first, but I guess happy with the result anyway. You save the big green, you force their hand in another round, you start to whittle back away at the money that was built up previously, and in doing so, they've still denied a bomb plant, which is just so huge to do against the T side.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done. This is getting into some nice territory again from the 9C side. Max out here. If he'd hit that second no-scope, I think he tried to do almost here, that would have been really wild. But yeah, this is such a chaotic exchange. It's hard to say who could have come out on top there, but it was somehow able to live through the initial fight, so not bad. Nafany looking down the middle, but that's a scout and not an AWP on Shiro, though. Got a little bit more firepower behind it. 2-round lead for the CT side. Bank is not looking great on their side, but it's even worse on the T side at the moment.
Yeah, they've gone all in. They've decided to throw their hat into the ring around like this. It's quite surprising. Now they're missing a lot of bits of utility, and I think they're just going to try to go straight into one of these sites, see if it doesn't work for them. Shiro, though, he's probably not getting away alive here. Yeah, no, so much expended just to try to keep that op in their hands, but Max in the process has gotten to. And 9Z already looking to shut this one down. C9's force, well, it's going to go about the way you'd expect it. Ooh, okay,
wow.
Consolation prize.
Not bad. This is where you want just a little bit of experience, hopefully showing on the 9C side to slow this round down. No more fights need to happen right now. It's on Cloud9 to find a way to get into a bomb site, so just take a deep breath on that CT side and don't give them a shot at all here, because they certainly have the skill to get back into this round, so just, it's better to leave them alone. 40 seconds, and you could tell they're kind of looking for it as well. They'd love to find anyone out here if they can. Bringing the bomb out long, Hobbit leading the charge with the Galil. He's going to try and swing for that corner, but I think it's already being heard by Max, and that's an easy find on Nafany. Good job so far. Headshot, but it might be too late, and it will be, especially with that shot from NQC. Bomb is miles away, and this is going to be an 8th round being picked up right now for 9C. Well done.
They just keep winning these rounds in landslide fashion, it feels. And just in multitudes. Like, they don't get rounds one at a time on these CT sides. They always bunch them together, which is so good for their economy.
Damn, this is something else. I don't know how many people... We should have done more extensive research. I feel like if you would have got like an audience poll in the Twitch chat or something like that, this would have a lot of people would have bet probably 9C don't even get double digits on this map, and they're not that far away right now.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of people losing channel points.
Yeah, no doubt. I would have been right there with everyone. But I don't know. Again, we saw it on Mirage already, putting up a great fight. So maybe we shouldn't be too shocked. But they got that one AWP in this round on Shiro. He's got 4 kills. Axile's got 4 kills. Where have they gone? How do we bring them back?
Those are 2 heavy hitters, I feel, right? Like, they just couldn't be stopped on Mirage. But I've still got my question marks. Like, this is kind of the same thing we saw on Mirage. It was a strong CT side from 9Z, but they were just kind of lost for consistent success when it came to the offense. So I'm waiting to see what they show us on the T side, because I still feel like that could be the deal sealer.
Well, if you got your bet on Cloud9, then that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for a really strong CT side, which I agree they definitely could have. I don't want to call this over at all, but I'm just enjoying the fact that 9C are showing some real fight right here, making this a lot more interesting. All right, good for you, Axile.
You're right. I mean, it's always satisfying to look at those P250 kills. Always.
I mean, it doesn't have the same boom behind it as the Deagle shot, but it does feel a little bit more slick. It feels like, you know, like a little bit more surgical, so I appreciate it nonetheless. All right, what are we working with now? 9 to 5, 15th round is coming up, and we have got AKs all across the board for Cloud9. A chance right now to get another round on the board, and you know, I think 9-6 is still a pretty respectable scoreline for Cloud9. I don't think they're going to be too sad about it. But 10 to 5, I mean, that doesn't have the same ring to me. It feels like 9C are going to be in the driver's seat if that happens.
Yeah, especially with a pistol win on the second half, too. It'll be night and day with the feeling of it. Yeah, I'm with you. But Cloud9, they kind of want to run it back to the B play, it seems. 4, now 5 of them grouping up at that side of the map, and already feels like they might be grouping up for a mid to B take.
Yeah. All the classic signs are there, you're right. Molotov it out. Try and flash your way to get a bit of control. All they get so far is a nade on them. Not that it does that much damage. Max in the back of the bomb site on that plateau with Rox kind of nearby. They do have some pretty decent nades. You could see Rox is ready to throw out the Molotov either out in the window or towards this tunnel. You have to assume that's a nice kill for Max, and Rox is right there, and they shut it all the way down. Yeah, you need for that to work if you're on the Cloud9 side. You need that strong headshot at the back of the plateau to even get close. Shiro, the only one left, and this is such a hard shutdown. What an excellent first half right here. Look at this. Max at 17 to 7, DDT at 17 to 5. Those are some really impressive scorelines playing against a team that's ranked the way that Cloud9 currently is.
It's so impressive. They just look like they're not fazed by what Cloud9 are throwing at them. I think that's something like a lot of these teams do. Like, I think I pointed it out on Mirage, how there's just so many of these underdog teams that when they go against a team like Cloud9, like, they don't make them work for something like map control. They just let them have a lot of room to work with, just being so scared and timid of what they're going to throw at them. But 9Z, it just feels like they're prepared.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it is really hard not to be sort of wrapped up in that feeling. Nicely done. 10 to 5. And 9C off to a fantastic start here in the first half. That's an impressive scoreline once again. Yeah, I think the problem is, especially when you spend a lot of time watching, and you know, we all know how good Cloud9 can be. They're ranked what, like fourth in the world right now. So it's hard to forget about that when you're on the server with them. But they just don't seem to really care. So that's a good job. Let's see if Cloud9 have what it takes in the second half to get back into the swing. They did it already on Mirage. So who's to say they can't do it again?
Always a threat, but it always all starts with the pistol, and Cloud9, they didn't have a great track record of it on the CT side of Mirage, so they're going to have to spin that one around here. They looked so scary and deadly on the Glocks, but now they've got to replicate it with the USP, and it looks like off the rip, they've got the right read. You see 3 players somewhat cheating towards the B play with the added assistance of Nafany in middle, but it all depends on what 9Z do with the final parts. Right now, just a bait and switch setup.
Just a little bit. Down the middle we go. DGT looking out for anyone. He's got that P250, so One strong kill for him right now could make all the difference in the world. But I wonder if he's going to join the main push here, or if he's going to let his team execute into it. Yeah, he spotted out one. That's a little bit of information, but if he could have just a tiny bit more, he could set up this whole attack. And now he knows Nafany's in the middle, so they're going to go for it. They feel like, all right, we just need to win one of the two fights in here, and we're going to be in a pretty good position to do it. There is a bit of a crossfire, and Hobbit is already getting the headshots, taking down rocks, and they haven't even checked for inters. They don't know about it just yet. They still make it out, and with a Molotov kill on rocks, it's looking good to enter the bomb site. 50 seconds on the clock, and the bomb being attempted right away on the other side. David able to put it down, and they're going to re-smoke that doorway. Oh, this is a great execute right now for 9C. They might be able to do this.
Two players low, too. They're going to have to pull a page out of 9Z's notebook if they want to come back into this one. That's if they can even inch their way closer. They've got the kid on Nafany, but again, it's just the low HP that's got me worried. You got one player on the Tons flank. That's Axile. If he falls, I feel like you kiss this retake done and dusted. Every angle currently being held. The kit soon to be dropped. No, misses the shot. So there's a world where they pull this back. With two players now staring down the barrel of Axile's flank into the tunnels. Everybody's low. One bullet's the difference, and he just gives it up. Cloud9 have dropped another CT pistol. This time 9Z could take it further than ever before.
Damn, this is, yeah, a lot of things happening. You're right, Exile coming in from upper dark had the only real health. And I actually thought for a minute that maybe the kit was just going to get lost even in the window. That would have been, could have been another tragedy right then and there. This initial defense is pretty good, but that's even more impressive that the T-Sign makes it back into the round to get the bomb plant. Well done. They are setting themselves up nicely. And a little bit of a response here in this round. Double scout for MOUZ, MP9. They got something to work with here.
Really scary, though. The risk is all added if you're not able to convert here, and a 1-for-1 is not what you were looking for on one of your only rifles on the investment so far. Not only that, but long control on the back of it. 9Z had so much going for them in this round. And to the contrary of Mirage, where they took a save on this round, now if you win this here, you're looking at 13.
Yeah, they're setting themselves up so nicely right now. Some damage, more tags coming in. This time, DGT getting hit up. Down to 29th health. So, yeah, some of those scouts can really slow down a team. Once everyone has, you know, close to 40 or so health, it's it can get a bit rough. So, I appreciate some of the damage that's been done here for the Cloud9 side, but they need more than that. And they're ready in case somebody comes along. Look at that. Max is reading the game really well at the moment. He had the right idea. Now, you need to stick to it, because if Hobbit gets in just as you're trying to make that cross on long, that could get really awkward.
Well, they've got the right read. I mean, they've gotten all this info, so it's going to be an all-out war zone. C9 have the proper chance here. Scout spotted. It's all about getting the info on where these players lie. Currently 5-7. Not able to get the kill, but does enough damage to make it worthwhile. Nafany's scout's gotten two, and Max has all the pressure put onto him. The force buy has gone terrifically awful for 9Z. All up to him in the middle of the site with the Galil in hand. He's got so many targets that are just so low, but he can't get any of them. C9 bail themselves out of one of the stickiest spots they've been in all series.
Oh, that's a really unfortunate turn of events. Well played on Cloud9. Those are some really impressive scout shots, but if not for a couple of kills there, maybe 9C could turn it around anyway. Now you wonder if that's the opening. Is that enough for them to get back into the game? 11-6. And moving into the 18th round, I'm sure 9C are going to be thinking, that's just a glitch. Don't worry, we'll be right back on track. But, man, I'd be so worried in a game like this if they need much more than that. Scouts to the rescue.
You know all I'm going to say? This is the exact score we saw on Mirage. And it took C9 a round like the previous for them to get themselves into high gear. It is still the scout instead of the op, so maybe that's a bit of a weakness to abuse. 9Z have forced right back into things, too. With only one rifle, it's going to be way more difficult for them to find success.
They don't have any nades either, so one AK to pave the way. I don't know, it's kind of a classic. It's been done before, leading the way with a couple of pistols just to create a little bit of space. And see if that AK could find a headshot in the background. They know as well. You could tell this. Trying to stay out of the line of fire. They definitely know what's coming. They've tagged it up. Grenade on top, and it'll blow them up. Oh, that's so much damage. And they don't lose a single player on that CT side. So, nice hard lockdown here to make it 11-7.
CT's even got their hands on some nice T rifles, too. You got Axile on the AK now. So,
yeah,
stocks of C9 go up.
Oh, everything is trending in the right direction right now. And I don't know if they're going to be... I don't know if the panic is setting in yet. I don't think it is. I feel like 9C are... yeah, they're looking so powerful. I doubt that they're going to be super worried, but... You can feel it coming. There is a chance right here that that they're in a position to just crunch this game out and slowly start to take it over again. 4-round gap between the two teams. But obviously the money is going to be working in favor of Cloud9 at the moment. Especially when they get kills like these with the MP9. That's going to be just fine.
I just wonder, though, is 9Z's the obviously less experienced unit? Like... There's the fact that maybe eventually as this score ticks forward, they're going to think, oh no, this is exactly what happened last time, and maybe get in their own heads a little bit. Whereas C9, they've been through the ringer in this regard before. Like, this is no new feat for them, so that could be a bit of an added buff for them to work with on the CT side.
Yeah, I think they have such a depth of confidence that they're probably... It's going to take a lot to shock them. A couple of upsetting rounds probably don't get to them at all. You can start to feel it a little bit here. Shiro and Axile are starting to get into play. You could see they've joined up with the rest of the team up there towards the 10, 12 type kills. And almost none of them are from the first half. So in the second half, they're starting to wake up a little bit more, and that's a huge problem for the T side. They do win that fight on long against Hobbit. Great start. And Nafany is in a really awkward position. Let's see. You can stay out here and just try and put out the... Oh, no. That is a failed Molotov if I've seen one.
That's their only molly, too. That's gone. They've only got smokes to come into this A site, so even though they've got the opening pick, like, you're still walking into a stack with no flashes.
Shiro being given another smoke up there. I think partially because if they did have more Molotovs to throw towards Nafany out there, that he could help put it out eventually. Man, they have a lot of utility on that CT side to work with right now. The same could absolutely not be said for the 9C side of things, and they've gone back from long. That is a rare thing these days. Most T sides, I feel like once they're out long, they just go for it no matter what. Even if it's completely obvious and completely visible that it's going to happen, they still try for it. So I'm a little bit surprised. Oh, David, that is a long spray, and that was the only person on the B side of the map. They might have actually found a way out here, especially if they get the kill on Axile, who's lucky to be alive after that one.
The only thing 9Z had going for them in this round was the fact that they had a man advantage, so the ability to hold on to it is just incredible. I mean, it can't really be put in words. 11, soon turn to 12, I think as soon as C9 lose this B site's control, I don't really feel like they're going to have any interest in going for a retake, less maybe Nafany gets a couple of lucky kills. There is only 11 seconds, but as he falls through smoke, the chances of a Molotov denial of the bomb plant falls, and C9, alongside their players, drop one by one.
Wow, what a ton of events. The problem with falling back long, generally speaking, is that it's just there's so much map to cover as you try to, you know, path your way through the map over to the B-bomb site. There's so many angles to check, even in T-spawn and everything. Like, you've lost control of the map. You have no idea where they are. So they managed not only just to get back there, but they actually win a couple of fights in the middle, and that's all they need. So super well done. And that's going to be now another real shot at bringing this home and maybe getting onto that third map, which again would be... That'd be really something.
That's the Holy Land for them. Overpass 2, where they had a really good showing against Furia. I mean, double OT win the first time. Maybe it was a bit of a different story the second time they went against them, but they've shown that they can be a contender on that map. So if I'm Cloud9, going into that map in this series is probably the biggest worry for me. That's historically their best map of these three. So your best chance of Cloud9 to take this series is probably right here.
Yeah, and you know, given how they've been struggling both on the first map and second map, you'll probably you don't want to see them play on a third map right now if you're on their side. You want to close this out and take a bit of a chance to shake off what honestly is a pretty great performance right now for the underdog team. Hobbit back here, David. That's a bold move with just a barrage of flashbangs behind him. He wants to get out. A lot of damage to the smoke as well. And they're going to back off that corner. Nice. I mean, I appreciate that from David. His entry fragging actually has been really impressive throughout the series. And there's no doubt in his mind. He just wanted to go all in.
How about even give him a chance to find that refrag, too? Just nobody really peppering bullets back into the smoke, assuming that he would have dipped back into the site, maybe gone towards car. And it led to him getting so much more damage. Now, this time, I mean, you commented last time they just left long. Usually they just go up. might be what they do here. You've got NQZ working up on the op, hoping to find a pick. Bomb still sticking around for second course. But no, it finally looks like they're just transitioning out again.
Yeah, and I mean, they have had Max hanging around T-spawn, so at least they had a bit of vision, you know, kind of towards the middle of the map, and T-spawn, obviously, it's still not a lot, I would have to say. If you have to run back with 40 seconds across the map, it's not a lot of time, but yeah, they're going to go for it this time. They have some smokes for the cross, they have some Molotovs and everything else, so this could work out. But it has to be really quick and flawless right now. Nice counter Molotovs, counter smoke set up here from Exile. Trying to buy a little bit of time. He's being pressured out, though, forced into it, and they line up against the wall. Even if he can't see them, he's going to be able to get that kill anyway. 20 seconds now, and they're running out of time right here on the T side. Nice shot from Rox. Instant headshot, and there's NQC to pick it up and out in the open. Hobbit, he can't escape. Great headshot, and that's a stunning recovery from what was an almost lost round there, especially when Exile got the kill. But, man, they've got some firepower on that side.
Yeah, those kills had my jaw on the floor. I mean, that's a 5-on-3, I believe, and they're actually going into the site. Like, he had just found another kill through the smoke at the back of the A site. Like, he was behind the big box, playing the one-way. Exile keeps the pressure on, and from that point forward, it is nothing but 9Z. You thought there was everything going against them, but it just wasn't enough. Molly's on ramp to stall them out. There's smokes on the cross fading. The op posted on the ramp cross as soon as it went away. Just not enough. Nice shots hit by absolutely everybody. Devastate Cloud9's post plant.
So well done. Well, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that it's going to take, right? These are, I think I said earlier when we were on Mirage that we need to see them win some of these, you know, rounds where they have some big advantages, like the 4-on-5s or the 3-on-4s or whatever. This is a round where they're heavily disadvantaged, I would say, 9C, and they still come out with a really good result. So they're doing it all right now. They don't even need the necessarily the easier rounds where they get all the entries. They're doing fine even in this one where they're kind of backed into a corner on long and they still make it work.
This is such a scary force buy from Cloud9. I mean, they've got a lot of the pieces there. You've got the op on Shiro, who's actually started to warm up, as you said. You got some rifles out, some bits of utility, not as much as you'd like, but if you lose this round, you're giving 9Z potential match point, or not match, but map point.
Yeah.
They could go up to 15 against what would probably just be your full eco. Like, do you really think you're going to win 7 rounds in a row on the CT side? Well, they're hoping they don't have to think about that.
Yeah, but that is a good breakdown because that could very well be what happens right here. Inter's back there. They have a little bit of backup with the C-Set 75 up close on Nafany, but almost no grenades to hold it down with. The retake, I don't think it's going to be even possible with the nades that they have. Orbit outside of the bomb site, though, landing great shots, but Inter's losing a little bit of patience here, and Hobbit smoked off, so he can't keep doing any of that madness from outside, and it's going to be a bomb plant here. Now, I don't know if they want to go for this one. 3 versus 3, but it's the B bomb site, and they don't have any nades or anything. I think it might be better to just try and save this other Hobbit. Oh, well, okay, if you're going to be doing that, maybe it is worth it anyway. And Exile, he's got the timing for it. What a ridiculous find. All on DGT, on his own. 1 versus 3. And they're setting up for it already. Trying to get in Shiro. Not sure where to go with that AWP right now. DGT, he nearly has him. There's the kill. And Shiro, is he going to be quick enough to find them? Flash is set up. It's a 1 versus 3. And GDT, oh, he's got it all lined up. But I don't know if there's time. There isn't. No kit on the ground. So they get the kills. But 9C holds strong. And they get to 14.
It's such a big win for them, too. There's that 14th that was going to be so dreaded from Cloud9. The only benefactor is the fact that they get to hold on to the op, but is that going to be enough? Shiro, we keep talking about how he's woken up, but in the time I feel like he was needed the most, he just wasn't there with them. Now he'll be the only one to try to save them from giving up map point to 9Z, and if not, I mean, he might just be seeing overpass before too soon.
Spectacular work. I mean, I'm really witnessing something here.
They forced.
Yeah, they almost seem a little bit desperate, which the caliber of team that we're witnessing here for Cloud9, desperation is like the last thing that you would expect for them to show. But I mean, the pressure is on right now, and they are just human, right?
Right. I mean, I'm surprised. I thought Cloud9, they'd be able to avoid something like this. I'm with you. I feel like they're not known for stuff like this. But now they've got 2 smokes left to fend off 9Z going into either one of these bomb sites. And you could see they with the lacking bits of util they had, they took long so they can maybe try to transition around more properly, but I mean, it's not worked before. 9Z, when they've wanted to go into B, they haven't really been met by much resistance, so what's going to change? Well, something has to.
Yeah, and real soon. They are running out of runway here. Got that AWP up in the window. It's a good start, and they keep pushing through, and oh dear, that is the bomb lost on the other side of the smoke, so a little bit of an issue. 5-3. Oh, this is... Again, this is only the first round potentially in the right direction for Cloud9, but it'd be so heartbreaking if 9C somehow can't get to that third map now. I feel like they've really earned it, but every time I see Cloud9 do anything at the moment, I think, man, is this the thing that turns the whole team on? Are they going to be ready? This seems like a lost round right here.
I mean, it could be. You got to think. There's going to be weapons to be picked up. Like, these SMGs are easily going to get a rifle upgrade, and an added part is that 9Z don't really have the cash to lose a round like this. I mean, I assume they're going to go back in for a buy, right? You're going to see maybe some hunts, or actually, no. It just seems like Cloud9 want to hold on to the rifles, but money is going to drain soon. Like, there's a world where C9 break the funds, maybe force a couple of ecos, and all of a sudden, round by round, they sneak back in right under 9Z's nose.
Yeah, they could definitely happen. I'm still... Maybe I'm just being paranoid here, but I feel like there is... yeah, it's right around the corner at all times. 9C, man, they're feeling the pressure.
They know. They know it's not over.
21 kills on Max, 20 on DGT. The rest of the team's not that far away either. Man, I don't know. Before this, I don't know. We didn't put any numbers on it, but I would have said 2-0 for Cloud9 and probably at like a 16-7 type scoreline on really both maps would have been probably something like that. I would have guessed that. So this is so cool.
I love it. I'm with you. This is great. Like, we're getting to see Cloud9 like pushed at their limit. That's the most fun part, I feel. Getting to see a team like this have to throw everything at them just to try to stay alive.
Yeah, I agree. This is a little bit unexpected. But it's not done yet. 14-9. Money questionable really for both teams. All on Shiro though. It's got to be a good deal. And a couple of AKs that they've stolen. They just need a couple of good calls right here. On the T side, just one or two good entries. They've had plenty already, so we know it can be done. But this is where you don't want to run out of steam, really. Closing the game is almost like an entirely different game than getting to this scoreline, but finding that will to finish it is something a little bit different. Timeout going to end.
Closing it out, it's one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, it really is. And you typically also, maybe not for a whole team, but for some individual players, this is also where you start to see a couple of mistakes, right? This is where maybe you weren't feeling the nerves earlier, but it's not uncommon to feel them now. This is it's the quarterfinals, and you can taste it now. You feel like, all right, maybe we actually get that third map, and maybe we're going to be in the lead all of a sudden, but Shiro missing a shot there. Max ducked right under.
That might be big info for them. Last time they spotted Shiro, at least the last round, was towards B. So they know he's stuck A now, and usually he's been the assistance for Cloud9, so they might just go straight in for a mid to B, knowing that there's probably only going to be 2 players here. Like, if you can beat them to the punch on rotations, you've gotten a B site that's shown its hand at weaknesses before. Yeah,
they are setting up for it pretty quickly. Maybe could have been even faster, but they've got the right idea. 14-9, just a minute on the clock. They're expecting for some kind of a peak coming out from the CT side, which they're not getting yet. They've been in the middle for a minute here. Is there going to be a flash coming through? Nafany, I don't think he can take this fight on his own. He needs some kind of backup. He's hearing the steps in the middle. They know that they're coming, but Hobbit already is down. He was trying to be the help, and now it's just being washed away. This defense is utterly gone. Nothing left they could do. Inter's just completely dead in the corner. Wow, that was... Once Hobbit goes down, everything else gets wrecked.
Have to hold on to these guns here. There's just no other option. Imagine working against map point and 6 of them without the op, without the AK, or without the M4s, without utility. You kind of need these 2 guns right now. And that's just hit a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's tempting to just go and hunt for it, I guess, if you're on the 9C side, but they don't have that much cash in the bank. But yeah, I agree. These weapons are going to be valuable on the CT side. 15 rounds on the side of 9C. They are almost there. Nearly ready to take that, or at least take us onto that third map. Which, again, it's hard to overstate how impressive that would be.
I still just love that from 9Z. I'm pretty sure their whole goal here was to find out where Shiro was, go to the other side of the map. Yeah. That's kind of what they did. You saw them slow down until he fires a shot. All right, let's just go mid to B.
Yeah, why? I mean, it's hard to argue against that, too. Why would you want to fight Shiro really on any given day? Just leave him alone.
Can't have impact if you don't see anybody.
Yeah, can't really. You need some kind of opponent to fire that AWP at one point. Here we go, 15-9 out on long. Axile looking to take the fight. Gonna smoke off one side, Molotov the other side, but it is immediately put out. They saw that coming. And they're looking in upper dark. You can see David's out here making sure no one's sneaking through. So even though they're putting some pressure on long, they have got a plan for the other side of the map. What a wild ride this is. What did we say?
Now Shiro's stuck in lower dark.
What was the third map?
Overpass.
Overpass, damn. Okay.
Scary.
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like that's got the potential to be another potential heartbreak for Cloud9. Look at this lone presence, though.
Like that.
They got a lot of people out here. Orb not that far away. Want to take the fight. They need to win 6 in a row to try and bring this into overtime. And we're running the clock down 50 seconds. And yeah, this is going to be an all-out war out here.
Oh, that's a big pick to find. And QZ, not only does he see that, but he might get a second here. Axile stuck on the wall, and he's just double opened up the A site. C9 not yet fully biting out of these rotations. You still got Inters pushed up in tunnels, so might be free grounds to find a pick back, but still, you're down by 2 men. You need a pick to go back. It might just be fielded here by Naf, and he thankfully gets the trade and info behind it too. Inters, he's gonna have help here shortly. Shiro, if anybody, that's who you want helping. Do they clear the cubby? No. Trigger discipline play from the FaMOUZ. Gets the first, spins around. Max with the bomb. Might have just done it. It's 2v2. The plant's gonna go down. Shiro gonna wait for the digits to be finalized. No, the jump comes in. He plants behind the double stack. Gonna be denied. He stays alive. C9 just barely able to stay in the game. Double digits off of Shiro's heroism.
Oh man, what a read to realize the second player on that T side was further away and just able to run in there and stop. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? If he comes off the bomb, they still win the round. So either way, he was going to win that. That is really, really close. But good find. Good job at the end. 15-10. First round of 6 down. They need another 5 still. If they get into overtime, though, again, what a heartbreaking scenario. Seems like there could be a little bit of a change of pace here. Setting up to run for the fire into a little bit of a nade to take some damage for it, but it's working. It's working so well. Taking down Naf on the outside. Inters in that corner, wedged up against it. Trying to buy some time with the smoke, but they're not going to let him. David with a huge double kill, and they're going to claim the bomb site and get the bomb plant down really quickly.
Yeah, instantly switching out. The worst part is Shiro's either stuck with an MP9 or an AWP, neither of which you'd like in a situation like this. Nade, bounce to the under window spot, won't do too much damage, and Amali is responded with. There's not much to go right now for C9. They might have just breathed their last little bit over here on Dust 2. Both even coming in from the unfavorable spot. I'd say that Molly's gonna go in under window. And now they make their move, both in from that window side. Not really yet being held, but this timer's draining so low right now. Finally, a kill comes back. Axile's gonna have to be the one to do it, but no, now it's Shiro descending from the heavens, and he's been spotted, taps the bomb, flicks, but he won't connect it. That's it. 9Z have somehow taken it off of C9. Their pick goes their way.
Ooh, that was a close retake, but it didn't really work.
They're in the quarterfinals, which is insane to think about. So let's see. I got to agree with the desk. I mean, obviously, I think just by his history and like rankings, you'd go with Cloud9, but also leaning onto the map of Overpass as the third and deciding map as well. Like that's just another thing that you would just edge towards Cloud9 if you weren't already convinced and swayed in that. Okay, we got a little ring around the fountain.
Yeah, they're playing a little game. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, I want that to be true as well. You know, like we talked a lot about it, you know, the experience and just the gravity of a name like Cloud9 up there. And it just feels like everything like, but I don't know. The cool thing about 9C is they don't really seem to care. They're like, yeah, whatever. Like, unless you're going to bring it right now today, we don't really care what you've done in the past. Like they seem to They seem to have like a really nice attitude. Like I'm not seeing them really scared. I'm not seeing them panicked at any point. David is not one of these players that I think that I failed to mention earlier, but he played really well. He's got a lot of cool entries so far. I don't know. I haven't seen that much out of 9C yet, but today's been great. I appreciate it.
What a cool team as well from 4 different countries also. So I mean, not even a Brazilian team, just a South American team coming in, like Argentinian, Uruguay's represented, obviously Chile as well, and then QZ being Brazilian. I mean, just what a wild spread of nationalities to get involved in a squad.
That in itself is like an interesting perspective. What if that actually can work? Because we talk a lot about international rosters, but usually what we just mean is like people from different countries in Europe, right? It'd be kind of cool if South America could do the same thing and have more representation across different countries. That'd make for a wild change. There's already so many good players in Brazil, right? That you think, well, do they even need to do that? But I mean, it does kind of like widen the field a little bit. Maybe you can make some more teams that could be powerful.
We were recording the like the time travel land that I do with Duncan and Richard and Sponge, and one of the comments we brought up about like one of the old school FaZe lineups when they came together was like, coming from different countries, the only chance was to create an international roster. So you got to imagine similar kind of idea with the South American team, all of them coming together on this roster to do some damage. NQZ and Rox with a couple of kills brought into a 3-on-3 and Bomb. Ooh, this is a bold plant.
Yeah, not even a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, goes for it right away. They needed those kills to get back into the game. Otherwise, they would have probably lost this round already because 2 opening kills going the way of C9 to start the round with. Inters is on a very, very long flank. That might take a while before that gets put into play. NQC takes down Hobbit. If they could find Shiro, they don't have to worry about Inters anymore. Though Shiro, almost finding them instead, goes the other way in Inters. Yeah, he has to run now. He can't really be silent anymore. I don't know. There might be a kid on the ground somewhere, but I'm not sure he's ever going to find it. He's walking in. Yeah, the kid was right there, but Max will take him down. Nice round out of 9C.
Yeah, it's a cool spin back as well. That was a 5-on-3 at one point. Not for too long of a period, but NZ able to bring it right back with 2 quick entries to get that bomb planted today. Well done. 3 kills on NQZ. He's the, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you guys went over it already. He's the newest addition to this roster, correct?
I want to say so, yeah, but I feel like
Okay.
I feel like I'm learning along with everyone else right now, but I think that is the way it works, yeah.
Yeah. I'll look it up pretty quick, but I believe that's accurate. What a good pistol round to grab to start off Overpass, the deciding map of the quarterfinal series.
DGT, nice spot there. Trying to get that flick with the Galil, why not? Ooh, Max running wild with the Mac 10 right here. Couple of kills in his favor. They're not too worried about this one. Just up against the USPs, so having a decent time of it. 3 versus 5.
Yeah, NQZ was added just like a week ago, like just at the start of this event, essentially. So he's a very, very fresh addition to the roster. Obviously, a couple big wins over Fury, as we mentioned, and now a good performance against Cloud9. So that's really awesome to see.
Yeah, they're making it work.
Making it work.
Yeah, I had a friend growing up from his family was from Uruguay, so you know,
Cool.
I remember, yeah.
Go on.
I remember a little bit about it. I just remember they made good food. I think that's like the cornerstone of most of my stories these days. But yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
Sure. Yeah, don't piss off people with food. I've learned a lesson the hard way.
Yeah, yeah. Finally.
I'm just saying, eventually my internet just shut down, so won't ever say anything about German food ever again.
Yeah.
Hobbit's in the stairs. He's going to be challenged by Rox coming around the corner. There's the Mac 10. This is actually, oddly enough, a pretty tough fight for Hobbit against that Mac 10. Nate is out. Rox playing it a little bit passively, so a stalemate called, but Exile is going to leap into position.
Ooh, Rock's finding a kill. That's through the smoke. Let's see. Axile looked like he was about to get timed on that one, but he spins around, takes down David. On the other side, Shiro is there. But NQC close lines him with the AK-47, and look at the accuracy. This is what I'm talking about. He's not at all afraid. That's Shiro on the other side, and he knew it as well. And he's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna stand in this angle and take the fight. And if he shows up, I'm quick enough. I'm accurate enough to take that AK to his face. And that's just so cool to see.
Yeah, he postured for that as well. I mean, he stepped right into it. That was a fight that he actually searched for. So very, very cool. Nice shot. Nathany and Inters left to pick up the pieces. Nathany, always an important player for this Cloud9 defense on overpass, the rotator between bomb sites at times.
Yeah, they're in a position where they could still win this 2-on-3, of course. But if they get blocked out and the bomb goes down, it's a completely different calculation. Oh, the timing is ridiculous. Nathany just managed to shrink past the truck, and he gets one more headshot, taking down GDT. It's all on rocks right here. 18 seconds on the clock, and backup is coming really swiftly. Nathany, well, you said it, always an important player. Nice triple, but the timing just to even get into the first kill there is just so ridiculous. Well played.
Yeah. Oh, well, they'll take it. Weapons dropped over. Cloud9 going to buy back up into this. Remember, that was around 9Z came in with the MAC-10. So they've got plenty of money. 4 AK-47s, AWP on NQZ. He's up to 6-1 just in the first 3 rounds. And here we go, round number 4.
And the fact that they're willing to take some of those fights, I think that's what makes it so enjoyable, right? Because it's so easy to be scared playing against a team that's ranked 4th in the world, and they're not. If they are scared, they're certainly not showing it. So, and what you said, he was added a couple of weeks ago, so 4 days ago, something. Like,
yeah, like one week, like literally, I think right before the event started.
Yeah, so well done. David goes down to the start of this round. It's a little bit unfortunate, and they're going to back on out. Shiro able to escape unpunished in that round.
Look how far back 9Z is. They have no map control. They have no presence. They've kind of been a little shied away from any kind of aggression towards these bomb sites. Going to take their time rotating back around to B. This is a long time for Max to kind of be on his own on an island looking for a push, looking for aggression. Axile's going to have a quick reaction. And indeed, Max might have missed a window of opportunity. Utility going to be out to keep them safe, but presence is found at bathrooms. And that causes a rotation away from the B bomb site for Cloud9.
And it makes a really big difference, doesn't it, if he gets that kill or not, because Exile is still hanging around. He doesn't have that much info, but all he has to do is take a couple of steps forward, and maybe he's going to realize, actually, there's really nobody here, and then they can rotate back into the B-bomb side. Let's see if it's going to be in time or not. Good flashes. Slight timing delay between the two of them. The bomb, though, is lost on the other side. Hobbit doing work with that MP9, and that's going to be the end of the round. That is... I thought those flashbangs looked really good, and I think they still had the timing to maybe surprise Cloud9, but once they get slowed down, it's obviously done.
Yeah, it was staggered flashbangs as well. The first one was kind of dodged. The second one caught that additional player in Monster, but it was the follow-up peek from Hobbit with the SMG that gets the kill and keeps the space. And from there, the second and third player stuck behind that smoke. 9Z kind of forced into an execute through the utility in the Monster tunnel, and we're all tied up at 2.
All right, well, some potential here once again for Cloud9. Tying up the game a little bit early. So we saw earlier that 9C looked to be sort of making a big run at it before they really got slowed down, and Cloud9 has to try to get a little bit further back into the game later on. So I think it's good news if they can step it up early here, tying up the game. We've got an AK, an AWP out, pistols for the rest. Deep nade right there. Doesn't do that much damage, but kind of shows them they know what's up at the very least. And the rest of the team hanging outside of the B-bomb site for the T side.
Yeah, and Exile spots Deagles as well, so they just back away. They say, you know what, let's not mess with it at all. Up and NQZ as the smoke clears. Nobody going to peek into that. Good utility to delay things as much as possible. Now, the utility for 9Z is going to be the question mark, so keep your eye on that one. One flashbang on NQZ, one smoke as well, and a smoke Molotov on Max. So they don't really have a whole lot of tools to close space and actually progress onto bomb sites and map control. They're going to be looking for some heads-up fights at different points. And they'll have to be real efficient with the nades.
Yeah, 2 smokes, a flash, and a Molotov, so yeah, you're right. Don't really have a lot to waste with here. 45 seconds. If they can win the fight against Axile, it's at least the beginning. He's trying to go for a little bit of a jump, but yeah, I think he knew. I think he might have seen rocks already. Yeah, that's a problem. Tech9 on the other side, though, flashed in. Still not seeing anyone, and he's going to smoke it off and try and make a run for it. Getting caught. There's the headshot from David on top, and this is looking decent right now. 25 seconds. They're not home yet. They need to keep going 9C, and now the backup is coming. Flank is in from the connector already. Shiro, he gets trucked as well, but Hobbit is there lining up the kill, and he sprays them them both down, and the bomb is dropped for the minute here. 14 seconds. They need to get that bomb plant right now, or more backup is going to be coming. There's Inter's instant one tap, and at least GGT with 8 health, no bomb plant, no time. Man, that is a close round, but they just couldn't get that bomb plant down.
Dude, he's also got no money, and he survived after the timer, so he's got that AK-47 and 350 bucks. That's actually, that's rough. I mean, they did a good job getting kills and limiting some economies, limiting some of the growth of the economy for Cloud9, and actually making this round really dangerous. That was really weird. Exile seemed to have the idea that he was there, but didn't know he was chucked so close behind the flowers. That's very dangerous. Good save from Hobbit, good follow-up flank from Inters, but that's pretty painful.
Man, that could have gone...
That
could have worked out. It could have worked out. Shiro, though. Don't want to get him fired up with that AWP. We kind of got a taste of that earlier on Mirage, so...
Dude, I want him to get fired up.
Yeah, you want that.
9Z doesn't, but I would love it.
It is fun. I mean, it was spectacular on the opening map. Didn't really get to see that much of it on Dust 2. It's kind of a little bit absent on that map, as was a lot of the rest of Cloud9, so maybe that's just what it is. David, nice idea. Instant pick off there on Exile. Didn't even get a chance to spin around.
That's crazy. He actually just walked the whole way. He just chilled. He just marched up.
This is great. Sometimes it doesn't have to be that complicated, although they still need to get the bomb here. And some of the rest of the team is even further away than the actual bomb. Shiro, that's a bit scary. Smoke up. Yep, David has got this whole thing on lockdown, and now they're going to get the bomb plant as well. But you know, this walk up from Connector, this is so weird. There's still 2 people out long, and DGT is one of them. How do you'll never expect that, will you?
No, 4 players alive and only 2 of them actually in the bomb site. That's insanity. There's a huge gap in that defense that Cloud9 just never considered, and that was just the straight walk W up long the whole way.
That's so crazy. Wow, they tie up the scoreline 3-3 now. Going to be saving that AWP and the AK.
I mean, good thing to point out too. DGT was the one who saved that AK-47 in the previous round with only 350 bucks in the bank. He actually gets 2 kills in this round with the AK-47. So fair play.
Wow. But this is the kind of pressure you don't necessarily expect for Cloud9 to be under, and the sort of stuff that you'd want to see them have a lot of protocols. Maybe especially on the CT side, this is where they do a lot of the good work normally that they do. So it is surprising to see them get picked off like that.
It is a little bit. Still early going. We'll see if they can lock things down moving forward. What an upset this would be. What a crazy upset it could be. It's still a little bit early to go down that road quite yet, but looking good to start at least 3-3 so far. Inter's gonna smoke himself off. Mac 10 not able to get the job done. There's Nathany saving the day. Nice impactful double kill for him. Buys Inter's some time, some space, but he is still locked in behind the smoke. Finds himself a kill. And even Nathany adding another one. So the B hit is stopped. Inter's just never goes down.
Man, that was again maybe closer than it seemed, but good defense. They got wouldn't have taken a lot to take Inters down inside of that smoke. One good headshot right through, and they can refocus their efforts on Nathany instead. But they just never found the kill, so gonna have to back on out instead. Bomb already lost, so no real tricks can be played here. Cloud9 happy to take the round, obviously extend just a little bit into this game, but. Man, they're not even asking for the respect here in INC. They're demanding it at this point. They're making sure everyone knows. I almost wonder if they take down Cloud9, how far could they go in this? That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess also what would be interesting about it too is like, does it change, them being favorites or underdogs in any of the future matchups? They're going to be playing big in the next round, and big, not an easy team to defeat by any means, but I mean, they are beatable. We saw them kind of have some tough time with Eternal Fire earlier today. We know they're a team who can, perform really well and also just kind of disappoint at various times. So that's a susceptible upset in the semifinals. So yeah, I think that'd be a fair question if 9Z is able to overcome Cloud9 here. Then you're all of a sudden like, oh my God, they could actually have a path to the grand finals.
Yeah, it's right there for the taking. I'm not saying that it'll be easy, but there is definitely a way to get there. And you have to imagine as well, I mean, that obviously in this tournament now, especially if they beat Cloud9, there are going to be more and more teams that'll start to say, okay, let's try and see if we can figure out how some of these players play. Like, they're a little bit aggressive. Some of them, maybe we can find a way to counter them, but otherwise they might fly under the radar maybe a little bit longer than some other teams in this particular league. 4-3, 8th round is coming up. Axile, one of the rare M4A4 users, although I guess after the change, maybe we'll see more of them get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, maybe just take a little bit of time.
Yeah, he's got the howl as well, so you know.
Good for him.
You've got to, right?
Yeah. All right, smoke's clearing. Another one put up at the end of Monster. DGT still looking for a play. Not coming quite yet. I think also, I mean, look, if this upset actually gets completed by 9Z, I think it opens up an even bigger, like, kind of meta conversation where Cloud9's about to kind of step right into Cologne off the momentum of winning Dallas, right? And then all of a sudden you kind of stub your toe at the event immediately before IEM Cologne, and you're like, this isn't good. That's a lack of confidence that we now have.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder how that'll play out. I mean, maybe they can shrug it off, but then again, maybe they can't. That's an interesting storyline to try and pursue. 45 seconds about to be. And 9C haven't really found a lot with this time. They have David out here, and if you could find any engagement, especially if you could find a kill, maybe it'll do something down here, but it might be too late anyway. Counter Molotov comes out. Shiro, almost making a run for it there, but David's going to be found anyway. 30 seconds left, and everyone's going to be showing up to this B-bomb side. They know what's coming, and Hobbit is good for the defense right here. Down to 20 seconds. They're running out of time on that T side right here, and Max, he gets down. They're trying to wrap around the other side of the pillar. And once again, the time is just a huge issue here. They can't spend a lot of time taking this duel. They need to win the fights and get the bomb down, and they're not able to. Good double for Nafany at the end.
Yeah, almost, though. Axile down to 11 HP at the end of that. Gets dinked up in the final engagement. 5 of the last 6 going in the way of Cloud9. Defense starting to hold strong now that the guns are out. And the question becomes, how much of a run can they go on here? Can they extend this scoreline? Good shot from Shiro. And as you mentioned, just trying to come up the ramp, 9Z just gets stopped. Nafany again, right place, right time. That's why I said he's so important. He has a real knack on this map of being at the right bomb site, at the right place, exactly when the hit is coming, exactly when he's needed.
Well, it's definitely needed there. Without him, who knows, probably would have been at least a bomb plant. Nice shot from David. Taking down Axile. Put him to sleep.
Yeah, that was powerful. And this is going to leave Inters kind of on an island. Molotov is out, going to hold him at bay. They were starting to creep in towards the tunnel for this set piece. Max has his 2 flashbangs. But Inters is very much all alone at the B bomb site.
Yeah, 10 seconds more. Maybe Hobbit is going to start to get a little bit closer from that C connector. They're going the long way around.
The door as well.
Yeah, that could be a little bit painful. We'll see if they line themselves up for him or not. But you're right, inside here, there's not that much backup. Smoke going down. 50 seconds on the clock. They could be here really fast, but shooting him in the back gets Hobbit with the 1 kill. Inter's ready for more. Instant headshot to bring it down, and yeah, this is the defense they needed. Nafany showing up. David is going to steal an AWP on the other side, but not to win the round, I think. 1 versus 2 with about 30 seconds just doesn't seem doable. They've had a lot of one-man saves in some of these rounds.
Yeah, well, this time, I mean, David got all the way up long again. There seems to be this gap that's been open for 9Z players if they want to be aggressive and bold out towards long, but he gets close up and was able to catch Shiro on the rotation. Never saw it coming whatsoever. We'll see if 9Z is able to call some strats later on to exploit that. We're going to be going into round number 10. It'll be a 3-round lead for Cloud9 at 6-3 overall.
Yeah, again, it's just slow bit of a lead here building for the Cloud9 side, but it all counts at the end. 9 rounds down, 10 coming up, and yeah, this is the kind of stuff. It was a great shot from David, but they needed just a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more. 2 versus 2 at the end right here.
I feel like that's exactly how he killed Exile a few rounds back, just with that Deagle at the same position of rotating away. Deja vu, this time it's Shiro. Which is funny, because I bet Exile is going to be aware of that possibility for the rest of the half, but Shiro obviously had no idea how it happened to Exile, so a little bit of luck. Guns are back in the hands of 9Z. This time a little bit more fast-paced, taking control of the staircase, taking control of Fountain, and pushing up close behind the smoke.
Yeah, slightly forward position by Hobbit, so can be hard to check coming in from the T side. They don't have that much utility. They've got some smokes here, but they're missing maybe a couple of smokes that they could have had on this T side, or just one right now in QC. Molotovs, 3 of them. All right, it's not so bad. I thought it was a little bit worse at first. Setting up for the boost. This is where I feel like in this part of the map, they spent a fair bit of time in the past without getting too many fights. It feels like Cloud9 aren't not too interested in taking the fight this close up. They'd rather the fight happen a little bit further back. So we'll see if ENCE are going to try and cheat a little bit and get through this part of the map a little bit quicker so that they have more time, because that's been the problem down to the B-bomb side, right? They've been attacking at sub 30 seconds.
Well, now you're going for the set piece. Smokes are up. Haven't pulled the trigger just yet. Nafany flirting with the smoke. Utility being dropped out. Exile cannot go down in this fight. That would be a disaster for the defense. Another defensive smoke is put up, and Cloud9 just playing the delay game. Oh!
Okay. That's against an AWP. David, again, he's just not afraid at all, taking that fight. And even after getting the win, he's like, I'm going to keep pushing. I want to create the space for my team. Nafany hiding inside of the smoke, but Rocks will take him down. Hobbit is still here, and the wallbang's not doing much of anything there, but Max will win the fight. And as you said, Axile needed to stay alive, and he did out long. Oh, time is nearly running out, but they get the bomb plant down. Axile comes in for it, and it's a 1 versus 1. NQC is back there. They're both very low on health. That M4, oh, with the Molotov on top, it's going to put all the pressure on. It lands the shot. The Molotov went completely the wrong way, but they still win the fight. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he missed the Molotov or if he actually thought he was able to evacuate in time, but that's a little bit weird. Good win for Exile, but I mean, the shots coming into this bomb site are so impressive. Was that David who just crouched around the smoke and dropped Shiro? This is a freakish entry.
Absolutely well played. Yeah, they've really got some firepower. I mean, that you can go a long way getting entry kills like that, can't you?
And it's like the way they kind of stagger their way like into the bomb site is just probably so weird for the defenders to have timing. It's like everything looks like a set piece. Smokes are up, flashbangs are coming out, Molotovs are coming out, and you think there's going to be this overwhelming hit coming at you, but it's just like this small trickle of players looking for fights, one by one.
Shiro is ready a little bit further up than they normally are. NQC goes right down, and Shiro, counting the second in dead, really wants to see if he re-peek it. David, he's going to keep going again. His opening kills in these rounds, it's off the charts. He's actually playing so well.
Did he push through the smoke as well in bathrooms? No, he's playing right behind it. Okay, so still outside of the main choke point of bathrooms, but Shiro is going to get a little bit frisky. Got to be careful with the smoke timer as it clears, but he's got the internal clock. Nafany is here as well to help keep some space.
I thought for a minute too that David just kept going. That would have been such a knockout punch if he had. I mean, also risky, obviously, but damn. 4 versus 4, though.
And remember, they've gotten wrecked from long a number of times in this half already, so Shiro's got to be cognizant of that fact.
Yeah, they're trying to set up, thinking about setting up a flashbang for it just to get David around the corner.
Look at
Wheel him
Hobbit's
into position.
He's pushed out a B. He's got all the intel.
Oh, you're right. That's a bit rough, but if David can get another entry at long, they can still be saved. They can win this round, so... Oh, he's going to go down to Shiro. Gun barrel showing up. They check it, but it might still be too late. Good double kill for Max. That's impressive. Shiro back here with 25 seconds. Try to go for a little bit of a pre-fire there, I think, but it's still a 2-on-2, and the flank is coming in mighty quick. 18 seconds, and they don't have the bomb plant quite under control. They're going to go for it right now. A little bit scary when you don't control the whole bomb site, especially when you lost back here to this AWP. He snuck out of it for now, but are they going to be ready for Hobbit? Sneak it around the corner. They don't even know yet. Instant shutdown, and DGT, he's got no real estate to stand, and he can't escape that, and Hobbit will take him down. So nice try, man. This is 8-3 now, but I feel like ENCE have been so close in so many of these rounds.
Yeah, they really have. They were given a gift here, a mistake from Nafany. He's hoping that he could actually double up and multi-kill, but he tracks the first player as he looks left. The gun barrel shows to the next guy coming around the corner, which is why that got cleared. That could have been a disaster, which is unfortunate because that's a position where Nafany also could have had, 1 to 2 kills and made that a much easier round. But Fair play to 9Z, as you mentioned, making this very difficult even in losses, super expensive. So they've got some of the money busted down for Cloud9. At this point, 9Z, it's not a bad half yet. They need a win. They need a win to destroy the economy once and for all, and then that will start making them feel much, much better.
Yeah, it's kind of showing if you look at the money that's on the Cloud9 side, right? They don't have that much of a bank for having won 5 rounds in a row right now.
5 rounds in a row and 8 of the last 9. Like this is quite a winning streak to not have a whole lot of cash built up. Probably one more buy, and obviously if they save some weapons, makes it much easier. But 9Z's doing a good job putting a lot of pressure on them. It's just they're running out of rounds to keep aiming for that economic break.
Yeah, that really is the tough part. Eventually, you can't just keep saying, okay, well, we have them almost right where we want them. We could keep going. David again opening up on Shiro. How many? Is this like 3 or 4 rounds in a row that he's got the opening kill like this?
That's actually pretty disgusting. Yeah, especially at this range, especially against one of the best operators in the world. That's like an instant delete.
I mean, I can't even blame him for wanting to keep going. They have this super weapon right now. You can keep throwing him in there, and he's going to keep getting the openings. Why wouldn't you? You wouldn't keep going, right? Axal, though, he's stealing the AWP. Started to slowly edge his way back. And they're really tucked deep into the bomb site with, ooh, a little bit of a jump there. Still hitting the shot. Long spray, but he did nearly go down, but this is the opening that they've been waiting for, 9C. This should be their round.
Hobbit has a flashbang if he wants to activate Nafany out towards long. Nafany's going to change his position back in towards the truck. So 1 player at dice boxes, 1 player tucked into the corner. Inter still hasn't moved, and it's a quiet, creeping hit from 9Z.
David is unstoppable. 3rd kill, instant headshot to take down Hobbit. He was on 12 health, so they just sent him right in there. What an absolute god he is.
Yeah, fair play. 3 kills in the round. Well, that's step 1, Anders. They only have, 4 rounds to play with to get this economic reset they've been chasing for this entire half. Next round, Cloud9's going to buy into the round, but it's going to be everything they've got. And all of a sudden, if 9Z break them at 4 to 8, man, you're looking at being able to like tie up the scoreline as much as possible, 8 to 7 at the halftime, because you're going to have such an advantage. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot to work with if they can get it.
That was a 1-tap on Shiro jumping behind Flower Pot.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
That's how David gets that kill.
He just doesn't care, does he? Absolute beast.
Has he been doing this the whole series?
He's been doing it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. There's been a lot of amazing rounds like that from David, and I think especially because they're entry kills, right? It's just so crazy. It's all worth it, right? Even if you just got the 1 kill per round, it's worth everything to them. So
that's wild. Yeah, look at what they're playing with here on the Cloud9 side. Hobbit only with the CZ. 3 M4s, SMG on Nafany, so they're going to get aggressive. They're going to take the fight. Oh, they've got so much information now, too. Exile and Shiro know everything that's happening on this map at the moment, and so do the other 3 players. Now it's just like, all right, guys, red alert. Everyone's towards B. Yeah,
make sure you try to slow them down. We're bringing a 4th man over. Get the Molotovs up in time. Make sure they can't sneak through easily, and then we'll be here. A little bit of a flashbang to take a look, but it could be a little bit interesting. 3 of them are coming through the L-bend, and this is going to be lightning fast. Rocks leading the way. They line up. They're all flashed, and it's a double entry. That MP9 there, but the 4th man never really got there in time. That's a nice hit. The timing, if they'd waited 3 or 4 seconds more, it could have all been blown up, but that was the perfect timing for it.
Something's off for Cloud9 right now, though. They did not look prepared for that whatsoever. Good flick down from NQZ. He's got Exile dead to rights, and Shiro's got to bail out. That, I feel like, I don't know if they necessarily had all the resources to make that much of a stronger hold, but 2 players on that ramp just seemed like they were so disorganized and confused about where they were going to play when the hit eventually came in. And considering Cloud9 had all the information they needed in the first 15-20 seconds of the round, that's just kind of weird. That just tells me there's some kind of miscommunication, like cohesion isn't fully there quite yet in this map, or at least a huge hiccup in this round individually. Max finds the final kill at the end of the day. That's all the money stripped out of Cloud9's hands. Look at these two players. Those are the ones where it's just like, this is weird.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they had some more nades, right? They had some Molotovs and everything else. I feel like they just got really caught off guard, which the whole point of getting that aggressive push on the other side is that you shouldn't get caught off guard. You should know, right? So that is a little bit unfortunate. Well,
yeah, I think they did use a lot of their utility towards Monster as well, and unfortunately, most of the hit came in through sandbags up short. So I think maybe part of it is just utility in the wrong location.
Well, that lead that was looking so crisp earlier, 8-5 now, running out of cash, could easily be like 6 or 7 rounds, like you said, in that first half for 9C, which is not that bad. Suddenly, it's looking much more doable. Rox out hunting, getting some of those eco frags, getting a little bit ahead of himself maybe, but it doesn't matter in the end. Quick round, 6 on the board for 9C.
6 on the board, baby. Looking good in this half, 3 straight. Well, we said that was the key. That reset, they've got it. That's got to make you happy. That's got to make you feel real good. Final round of the first half, Cloud9 have guns back in their hands as well.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit concerning once again for Cloud9. I mean, if you watched the whole series today, especially if you came in here betting on Cloud9 thinking that's it, they're definitely going to win this one, could be a little bit nervous by now, I suspect. We'll see if they can get 9 on the board here. Nafany trying to get that perfect angle, not really able to. They're setting up for a much quicker hit this time, I think, if they can get the early kill. But Shiro, he shifted his position. That's their answer to losing this B-bomb side. They're like, bring Shiro.
Shiro's just like, thank God it wasn't David.
Yeah, true. Yeah, need him.
Had to go to the other side of the map to get away from that beast.
Yeah, he's out long again. He's like, is no one gonna fight me out here? I was loving this fight.
Yeah, I know. I had the hot hand. Everyone come challenge me, please.
Okay. Axel making some jumps for information, but
he spotted one.
He definitely did. And they're going to be, yeah. I think they're looking into Monster Tunnel in a couple of seconds, and they're going to find anyone down there, so they might get a sense that something is up. They've already brought 3 people to the A-bomb side. That's a lot. I think they know Cloud9. They know what's coming. Ooh,
well, there goes David.
Yeah.
Yep. There goes the entry power. 5 on 3, 30 seconds left on the clock, and this is where you really could use a nice, clean, decisive entry.
3 versus 5. Yeah, I mean, it has to be flawless entry from here on out. Rox walking through just as the smoke is fading. The time was not too bad for it, but they're already getting flanked, so not quite going to work out in the end. A 9-6 finish in favor of Cloud9. It's pretty respectable, but it is by no means a done deal. I think 9C have earned the respect of everyone here today, so they can do a lot in the second half. I've got to say, I don't think it's over yet.
No, it's not at all. Switching over to the CT side, this could get interesting. We're going to watch Cloud9 kind of dictate the pace, but they really kind of struggled containing David in this first half.
Yeah, the entries are just so ridiculous. I mean, he might have single-handedly just with the entries. Not that he got the most kills, but just he opened some of these rounds in a fantastic way. So we'll see if it's going to be the same thing now on the CT side. 9C. A good start here. A pistol round win would go a long way to make it a little bit safer for them. USPs, no dualies being picked up. So,
that's disappointing. Yeah, that's a yellow card to both teams. Well, 2 players spotted jumping across Monster. Max is coming in for the flank. Shiro knows it's coming. He has the timing. Max clearing right, but he needed to look left, and oh, he gets boxed in. He gets surrounded from 2 different angles. Another flank from NQZ. He pushes all the way up middle, but Cloud9's going to bypass this. Up the stairs we go over to the 8-bomb site where there's absolutely no presence, and 9Z has been outmaneuvered on the map.
Yeah, this is a really good call after the initial engagement, so just going to be a free bomb plant right now. Retake, I don't know. The problem is they don't have a smoke or anything, which in a pistol round is just very hard, even with the defuse kit on Rox there. For him to sit down and defuse for 5 seconds without getting interrupted doesn't really seem doable. With the smoke, maybe, yeah, you do a long way, but I'm not sure about the rest of it here. Time is going to be running out quickly. Exile goes down. It's a start. There's NQC. Oh, the comeback is looking pretty good in this round, but even then, he's on his own. 1 versus 2, and that time is just fading so quickly. He lands the shot. He needs to pick up the kit. It's right there behind him. Yep, there we go. And he's got maybe 1 shot at doing this, and maybe not even that. Yeah, going to be backing out. I don't know. He would have needed Shiro out in the open for an instant headshot. It's going to be the round for Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, even when he gets the kit, it's like you would have needed Shiro to miss like all 12 bullets in the magazine, right? Like to make that happen.
Yeah.
That made me a little bit scary though. When that retake began, these shots, TGT, NQZ from distance, you're just like, oh no, it can't be like this. Don't drop it, Cloud9. They're up to double digits off the back of the pistol. And 9Z have a decision to make in this round number 2. It doesn't look like they're going to invest anything though. They want to get the guns out as soon as humanly possible.
Okay, well, I can't really blame them. I mean, again, with the confidence that they have, they probably think, you know what, we can win as soon as we get the M4s on board and maybe one of those AWPs on NQC. If we can get that, then we're up and running. 10-6. And they're all stretched out on the side of the map. No flashbang in play for the CT side, so not going to have a chance for any kind of a wild surprise. And with the Mac 10 out hunting, you've got to imagine it's going to be tough to hold this part of the map no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Good early dink. Hobbit's going to be able to get 1. Plenty of players around for Cloud9 to come back and address that situation. Maybe stop the rifle from falling into their hands. It's going to be Nafany who's tasked with that, but NQZ has already picked up the AK-47. Ooh, another dink. Shiro able to spin around and get a couple quick kills. And they should know 1 more at the salvaged AK-47.
Okay, well, they're doing a little bit of damage. I mean, with the pistols that they had, this is okay. 1 more kill would be huge. Bomb is being brought back over to the B-bomb site. 1 versus 3 for NQC. And yeah, I mean, Cloud9 is setting this up kind of nice in the sense that they want to make sure they win the round now. That there's no weird trickery. And getting the bomb plant is definitely the way to do it. Inter's hanging around on this side. There's no armor on NQC, so if he runs, if he keeps going for it, it should be a lost fight for him, but you never know with that AK.
You never know. Gonna turn the corner. Enters, ready and waiting. Nice spray down. 11-6, but guns are coming out in the next round no matter what. M4s, I don't think NQZ could go for that AWP. He's got 5350. And he is indeed. No armor, just a little bit of utility, so he's going to be susceptible to some damage, to some Galil sprays. But Cloud9 maintaining this lead pretty damn well.
Yeah, 11-6. It is starting to look like a decent lead. I don't know if I don't have the same confidence that I did earlier. Earlier, I feel like even if Cloud9 was in this position, I was like, yeah, but you know, they can probably still make it back. It's Cloud9 after all, but 11-6, the way that 9C have been playing, I could see that evaporating quickly unless Cloud9 could shut it down early. Max with some good headshots. That is just perfect timing. Jumping around the corner, Nafany. And a 3 versus 5 in this round. NQC doing a little bit of work out himself out here. A lot of work actually clearing the entire part of the map. Damn, this is starting to get a little bit wild.
Yeah, it's getting a bit dicey, especially because every time, like, 9Z just steps up to every challenge throughout this map. This has been super impressive. Shiro and Exile against 4. They do have a bit of utility to work with, and they're going to start kind of meeting up in the central position of the map.
They're just so unafraid. Which I feel like this is the kind of advice you'd always give people if you said, how do you upset like a really big team? To be like, just pretend like they're kind of nobodies, but actually doing it is, I don't know how you tell you, like, if anyone was asked, well, how do we do that? It's like, I don't know, just try and do it, you know.
They're saving entirely.
Yeah.
Okay. Not even going for it. So a little bit of utility to make it feel like they were going to start progressing on the A bomb site just to make sure no one was going to go for an early hunt. Other than that, Shiro and Exile just chilling, maintaining position. No hunt for 9Z. They have no money to risk any of these rifles, but this is a great first gun round for them. They're going to be up to 7.
Yes, they are. Not having any guns, but then again, not really losing any of their own either, so they're happy with it. Yeah, the round was pretty much done right here. Max doing the work. 4-round gap. They're boot camping as well, Cloud9, so you know, you can't even really, that's not even an excuse. We love to use that excuse otherwise.
Yeah, we would love to. Did Nafany dye his hair blue for Cloud9 colors?
I don't know if it was for that, but yeah, maybe, yeah.
I think he did. Okay.
Dedication is there. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it is.
Now they just need to also win.
Yeah, that's the next trick in the book. Dye hair. You feel a little bit worse for wear if you dye your hair blue and then end up losing. Here we go. Walking through Monster. David. Oh, he gets a taste of his own medicine, and Exile's going to build on top of it. His job's done. He can go down 2 quick entries. That should be the round done. And indeed, 9Z isn't even flirting with the idea of sticking around.
Yeah, nice absolute hit. Oh, they're coming back for it. I swear they were walking away too, but maybe just throwing a grenade or two? I don't know.
Yeah, they're hoping they can get maybe 1 kill on the exit and do something to keep the money low, but yeah, that's it doesn't work, so just bail out again.
Okay, well, I think that's fair. I don't really want to see them go for that retake either. That is such a quick double entry that that's almost impossible to recover from. So just leave it alone, leave it be, and try again next time.
All right, just like 3 or 4 more of those for Cloud9 should be an easy win. Good kills from Exile. That's brutal. Yeah, 5-round lead.
He's been itching, hasn't he, to get some revenge for what the madness that David brought to the first half. So why not?
Yeah, just a perfect route to run as well. Everything about that was just picturesque. That's exactly how it's outlined in the textbook. 12-7. 3 of the initial 4 rounds going the way of Cloud9 in this second half. And we just mentioned a couple rounds ago, every time 9Z's needed to, they've stepped up to the plate and overcome the obstacle. They've got another one here, starting to run low on funds.
Yeah, that's really one of the big issues, isn't it? Once they run out of money, Cloud9 have the way paved right in front of them. And you're right, there's almost nothing to work with. That's a bit of an issue. Still have that AWP and NQC. I feel like he's been very reliable with it, so see if he's going to get a chance here to challenge someone. Inters goes down. It's Max at the start, and a good flick right then and there. Nafany, he was a little bit further out, so it could have been scary. But, and Max, this is so smart. Yeah, don't take the fight. It's not worth it. You've got that 5-on-3. Let him have that part of the map. It doesn't mean anything. He comes bursting out, taking down Exile and getting all the information. Wow, that is such a smart play for Max.
I don't think Exile would have expected that. He would have heard the call that someone was in the staircase, but didn't expect the door to be open. Now the bomb is dropped so far away, so even if these kills come out for Cloud9, they've got to run all the way back across the map to get the bomb. And just Shiro remaining. He's flanked out by Max. That's a 12-8 scoreline. 9Z keep it respectable. Keep them honest. They're within 4.
Yeah, they're really doing it. This is quite something that we're witnessing here. Slow walk back, but the timing and the confidence on every one of these players is absolutely there. I remember the Cloud9 team, I mean, they have enough money to buy into this round, but only barely. Pistol on Inters, swapping it around a little bit here. They've got their backs to the wall as well.
Ooh, good damage on Exile.
That is real close.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good way to chunk somebody down before anything really begins. And look at the kind of the defense that's centralized onto the B bomb site. You even have Max in that staircase able to rotate over, but they're not even needed. Double up from David. He falls. They know the position of rocks, but how do you get there? How do you push through? How do you find this kill? And DGT is going to come in, and this is a shutdown of epic proportions.
Yeah, nice counter utility coming out. And even though I think they saw him in the corner initially, right when they were flashed. Ooh. It just doesn't even matter. Nice find for Max, but there's too much firepower on the other side. Double setup, and then everyone was flashed. But when you're in that little tunnel, it's such a choke point. You're just always going to lose that fight. Good shot with the AWP at the end, and we're looking at a 12-9 scoreline with no money on the Cloud9 side. They're really in trouble right here. This is getting really worrisome.
It's an awkward position to be in, isn't it? Especially considering you're on the T side as well. Like these things, these just don't feel fun to try and overcome this. So, look, Cloud9 gonna get tested here. This is worrying. And a timeout taken as they want to talk things over. Nafany vocal, everyone else just chilling. Nice orange walls, very calming.
I think that's green, isn't it, Jason? Not, but okay. I'm gonna let that slide. It's fine. Whatever.
Sure.
Calm orange, like the sun that could burn you alive. Yeah, I get it. It's fine. I think orange is a stupid color.
No, it's not, dude. Orange is the most underrated of the colors.
Okay. Agree to disagree. It's fine. I'm not gonna get into it.
Orange fans tweet at Anders. Nice spray down from Max. Double kill for him. MQZ adding one on top of it. And this round's over.
Yeah, right quick. Not even any... I don't know if they had anything specifically planned. Probably not. But either way, it's been washed away here. Max getting a couple of easy kills for himself to pad that scoreline. Not that he needs it. He's up at 21 kills. And look at the gap. It's just shrunk away. It just disappeared. 12 to 10. They barely have money to buy into this round, but even then it's going to get super sketchy. They're under so much pressure. They must feel it now, Cloud9. They must feel that they're playing a team that is absolutely fired up at the moment.
Yeah, and it's not in any way backing down whatsoever. That's the crazy thing is there's nobody rolling over here, even when Cloud9 have gone on streaks. This is the danger of giving like the underdogs a little taste of success, allowing them to win a map. You never know how it's going to fire them up and let them carry on into the third. What a brutal fight on the hands of Cloud9. After taking down Furia twice, 9Z looking for an even bigger scalp.
Well, 3-man stack with rifles. I don't even blame Axal for not seeing that coming. That's the kind of round you throw in when you've got, you know, nothing but pistols and you're just, you know, hoping for a little bit of a gimmicky play. But against rifles, that might be hard to read. And he got absolutely taken down. What a start. Up close as well. NQC, AWP in hand. If Inters wants to walk around that corner, he might just be dead almost immediately. Nafany up close. Doesn't make a difference. There's the shot. Krieg on the other side, and he goes for it. NQC absolutely fearless. What a triple. Takes all of them down in that restroom, and that's a 12 to 11. Cloud9 almost already seem defeated. They're going to go for tactical timeout, but this is brutal.
Yeah, they need some energy on this team. They need somebody to grab this game by the horns and just make something happen on the map. Like someone like David, who's just, as you mentioned, fearless, as we've seen time and time again. This time, look how fearful they are against that AWP. Really kind of taking their time. Nobody going for the trade kill right after it. And this is, oh man, it's not looking good.
I know it's really not. All of the energy and all of the momentum right now is definitely with 9C. I think everyone can feel it. Even just watching the game, you get that sense that Cloud9 don't have that stopping power that we surely all expect. But we're not seeing it in the server at the moment.
Max with 22 kills. What a good showing from him. 9C just one round back.
Yeah, and they... Look at the money.
And that might disappear. Yeah, I was gonna say that might disappear real quick. It's just pistols on the Cloud9 side. So I mean, full economic control in the 9Z way, as you mentioned. 11,000 on DGT, 9,500 on Max, 8,500 on Rocks. Like they've got cash for days. Oh my lord.
You okay, Jason?
Yep, that almost ruined me.
You had a moment.
Yep, sure did.
Well, Max taking down Nafany, just a couple of more kills on his side. Again, the Deagle's not really showing much of anything here. I think, what is it 125k for first place here? Something like that? I swear the desk was saying that earlier. Either way, it's a lot on the line for, you know, if 9Z can get there, that would really, that'd have an impact on their year going forward, surely.
Yeah, it really would. $150,000 for first place, $50,000 for second place. That's quite the drop off. But I mean, 9Z staring the semifinals in the face. All they got to do is get there.
That's not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I kind of like the drop off. It's nice when some of these tournaments are really top heavy in the prize pool.
Yeah, like extremely top heavy to first place. Big fan of that.
Shiro hanging around the deal, maybe taking the time to have a little bit of a conversation with his team, saying, what on earth is happening here, boys? We need to find something to answer back with, but I don't know, I'm not seeing it right now. We obviously know that they have the caliber of players to go for it, but they're not to be found on the server right now. Max clocking in at 25 kills, which is... I mean, some of these are definitely, you know, kills against pistols, but still, damn.
Well,
looking a little bit grim.
Yeah, this is I'm struggling at the moment to find something real positive to talk about with Cloud9. Let's see if they can bring it in this round. Stalled out in the previous gun round at a B execute that just fell flat. Max is going to be aggressive. As we mentioned, the hot hand, 25 kills on him in this map so far. We've said David's name so much. He's had such huge impact, but he's only at 13 frags. Max is just shot up the scoreboard.
Yeah, he's really come to try and take over the game. NQC surely heard that run past, but probably doesn't care so much. Inter's right below him, and Inter's had a really rough game. He's at 6 kills right now, significantly below everybody else right now, so maybe be nice for him to get a kill or two here to start to get himself back into the game. His team needs it right now. Max, long wait out there, almost a cold position, and I guess NQC didn't hear it. Maybe the Molotov just obscured it enough, and they're going to get 1 kill in return. Axile, is there going to be a flash to get rocks through here is the big question, or is he just going to wait for it to feed? It's right inside. He goes for the spray, and that could have easily been a double. Axile, if he crouches into that, I mean, he could have just as well have been dead, but it looks like they found an opening.
Yeah, and do they want to go for it? Does 9Z actually test the limits here? It's a 2-on-3. This is doable. So David's going to see if he can find a quick kill before his teammate rotates over into position. He's got to clear out water. And Hobbit off angle. Can't land the shot. That's a bit sketchy. Good one from Inters. Good response into a one-on-one we go. And DJT up over the top. This is huge. Inters needs to win this for Cloud9.
Yeah, he really does. And again, not really his best game so far. 1 versus 1. And he's making all the noise right here. It's being heard on the other side. Inters knows. DGT, he's just not sure where to actually look, and he's definitely guessed the wrong angle. Sneaks in, and that's a nice clutch here. Nice round, Inters. From 6 kills all the way up to 9. 3 in this one. That is absolutely needed.
Dude, but look at the money. Look at the money on this 9Z side. I saw like 3 people at like 14, 15K before we switched cameras. Like, they've got so much cash. Cloud9's got to win this one the hard way. They've got to grind down such a big CT economy.
They have everything working for them right now. It feels like it is their game to lose at the moment. As ridiculous as it seems, because again, it is just a 13-12, so slight lead here for Cloud9, but 9C still feels like they have all the momentum. Certainly have all the money. Hobbit's going to be smoking his way through that one, hoping to catch anyone on the other side. Grenade doesn't really touch him at all. But again, an aggressive move coming out. This time it's NQC up here with the AWP, so Max is kind of nearby, though. Alright. We're going to fall back slowly. Trying to see if they could take over this part of the map. I mean, they could isolate the fight against Max, maybe if they can, yeah, smoke and Molotov NQC out of that position.
Hobbit.
Yeah, sneaking closer for it. Does spot it out, but not getting the kill. And they have to do something about Max here, don't they?
Yeah, it's all good because at least they're forcing out some utility, right? At least they're like forcing some nades to be utilized. This position from Nafany is really interesting as well, outside of bathrooms. He could have that late flank down the stairs. Oh, late boost up, but Hobbit spotted it. Took a little bit of time for DJT to get centered. And it looks like actually Cloud9 want to pick up the pace off that.
Yeah, they probably need to pretty soon. 35 seconds. Max is still hanging around this connector, and that could just be a huge problem. If he can interrupt some of this take a little bit, there's the door opening. He did spot it, but walking up behind. Oh, Max got himself sandwiched in with the flash on top.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, they wipe out the defense here. DGT, not much you could do in this one. 1 versus 5, essentially, at the bomb site. NQC, I don't think he's going to get here in time either. Yeah, no chance here. Tried for the shot for the box. I appreciate that. If he would have landed the shot and killed him planting the bomb, that would have been exciting, but wow. That defense is wiped out.
Yeah, they're hunting down that weapon as well. Cloud9 want to take everything away, but I don't think they realize quite how rich 9Z is. There's still another buy after this one for 9Z. Timeout taken from them. the last hurdle that they're at 12 to 12 is just like the obstacle of like, oh, we can actually win this. Oh crap.
Yeah, wait a minute. Why were we so down on ourselves just a minute ago? You know, there's stuff to be won. Oh, the fact that Max got sandwiched like that is that's heartbreaking, because he was in a great position. If he can win that early fight against the player that's in sewer right there, he could probably throw. I think he only had a smoke, but still he could be there to defend that L bend really fast, right?
I think he brought Hobbit down to red as well in that engagement while being sandwiched. Like if Nathany wasn't coming down those stairs, he might actually win that fight and just have, you know, a quick flank up towards sandbags. So that's an all important fight for Nathany to win to help out Hobbit. 14 to 12.
Okay, well, they're not that far away. All of a sudden, Cloud9 finding a little bit of a second wind here towards the end of the map. And remember, I mean, they're about to... Otherwise, they're going to get knocked out, right? 9C,
yeah.
They've really proven a lot today. They could have won the first map. They could have won Mirage 9C. They could have won this 2-0.
Yeah, that was like 16-14 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
For Cloud9? Yep. Well, that'll haunt them for a little. Still, I mean, for a team that has just a new player come into this roster just a week or so ago, absolutely magnificent results with such an early addition, or such a recent addition, I should say. I don't think Hobbit spotted that at all. He had back turn and just bailing out of the short sewers. NQZ gonna get aggressive. He wants to go find a frag, and he's got a leg shot. Hobbit might have to let him go, and there's David with the backup. Inters pops open the door, but a huge kill for David.
Yeah, absolutely. What a save. His teammate might have been in a lot of trouble right there. Shiro now running back. Yeah, they're going to swap out the AWP for Hobbit because he's low on health. Oh, I don't know if this is looking rough again here for Cloud9. 35 seconds, losing Inters. This is so readable. Look at how many people are near this B bomb site. They should have a decent defense. Throwing in a little bit of a pop flash to try and get their way through an Axile. What an opening. He made it look so easy. They had two on the bomb site, but another two that were near the sniper spot. If Axile doesn't get that instant clean double opening, these last two players get activated into the defense, and they might just run out of time. That is so rough.
What a time for Axile to step up. Exactly what Cloud9 needed. Hobbit with that up is going to drop down off the bomb site. Nathany, easy double kill. Perfect timing. And Max is going to bail out, bug out, and go home. It'll be 15 to 12. Cloud9 have 3 chances to close out this series and move on to the semifinals versus Big. But remember, I mean, this whole thing is set up. There's still a lot of money on the 9Z side. This is not going to be an easy final round to win.
No, definitely not. But you kind of feel like the pressure is now on. I don't know. They did such a good job running this game back, round by round, 9C, but suddenly Cloud9 showing a little bit of strength at the end, and especially Axile. Some of these rounds he's opened up are just huge. God damn. 15 to 12, and moving into the 28th round. It's been 3 in a row for Cloud9, kind of out of nowhere. Yeah, Nathany's actually 22 kills sort of quietly.
He's so important for Cloud9 on this map. This map specifically, he's like such a critical player for them.
Nice dunk on the Shiro and Inters. Good start to the round. Unconfirmed damage, but I'm sure they'll find out later. And Shiro rightfully paranoid that someone could be moving up, because they've been doing that a lot. Max has been there, and QC has been there, so they want to make sure that they don't get surprised by anyone playing out here. Even once they passed it, they leave Inters behind, just to make sure that there's no one sneaking through. They set up on long. I mean, this could be a powerful hit if they get the right kill.
DGT's defending. Their initial one looking for information. Quick flashbang out. Doesn't really give a whole lot up. It's an aggressive defense for 9Z towards Highway, towards Banana.
NQC, not that much showing, but again, because of the nade from earlier, Inter is just dead, even though it's halfway through a wall. It just doesn't even matter. Counter smoke coming out to try and buy a little bit more time. Nathany comes charging through anyway, and I don't think DGT was ready for that one. Coming up out of the connector as well is David, so he's looking to try and help out a little bit here. If they keep going onto this bomb side, they're going to get flanked right away. I don't think they have much of a choice anyway, but David is in such a powerful position. They have a great read on this one, 9C.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Like, the pause button was hit by Cloud9, and Hobbit was really the only one actually looking to attack into the bomb site. I guess they're just saying, Hobbit, go see if you can get one more kill and open this up. Otherwise, we're just going to save these weapons, because that was never going to work when you know there's an AWP in front bathrooms at Highway. Hobbit just kind of sacrificed to the gods. Good kill from Nathany to secure survival. 2 more chances for Cloud9.
Yeah, you gotta find something, right? Keep the weapons alive as much as you can. Keep the fight on. They're just 1 round away from Cloud9, so they can feel it right now. Surely, if they can bring it through here and actually win and knock 9C out of the tournament, that's going to be such a wake-up moment for Cloud9, though, thinking, damn, this is so much more difficult than we thought it was going to be. No way they were expecting this kind of resistance. Let's see, 29th round. Cloud9 still with money in the bank. Well, it looks like they could be setting up for at least a little bit of pressure on the B bomb side. Maybe not a full commit, but just enough to try and force what little nades remain on the 9C side out. Oh, nice counter flash and boost. That'll work.
That will work. Opening kill, 5-on-4 for 9Z defense. Last time we were in this situation, though, Exile has delivered 2 stunning double entry rounds onto this B bomb site. They might need a 3rd out of him just yet, and he can't get it. David's able to put a stop to it. Good flashbangs, though. 3-on-4, still challenging, and DGT forced off the angle. Inter's going to step up next, and they just take way too long, and that gives DJT the courage to move forward. This round is done and dusted. It's going to be 15-14.
Damn, could be seeing overtime at this rate. Yeah, they wanted to slow it down on that ramp and try to see if they could set up just one more smoke or a flashbang or anything, but they got interrupted by the defense. So nicely done. Triple kill for DGT and Nathany. Yeah, nothing he could do right now. He has got money, so he could drop a couple of AKs maybe to the rest of his team. Try and make it work like that. It's going to be at least a somewhat respectable buy if he could save this AK. So they'll have someone to work with, but if they go into overtime, who knows what's going to happen at that point in time?
Yeah, I mean, that would be just odd. Oh, actually, I guess it wouldn't even be that odd considering the way 9Z's been playing. I guess it'd be kind of fitting.
Yeah, it feels like that's going to be the way that this goes.
What a great mid-round boost or early round boost up. Exile couldn't get anything done. DGT is just like, all right, I know you guys are out monster, but if you're just gonna chill, I'll take it. I'll step up to the plate. Final round of regulation. We've either got a Cloud9 victory or overtime. If 9Z, this is a little mini 3-round comeback to force OT. And they're looking good. They're looking like it's a real possibility.
Yeah, they got everything working for them at the moment. Exile outside of the B bomb site, just to spot, just to see if anything is happening out there. He's really, really far back, throwing a couple of flashbangs as well to, buy a little bit of time. And they're going to be respected for now inside of B. Over on the A side, they don't have a lot. NQC's out long, but that's most of it. Max, though,
yeah,
he keeps going.
What a play! What a play to make in round 30. This kind of a push. Now, does he have the courage to go up the ladder? I don't think so. Still chilling, so this advanced position doesn't give them a whole lot of information, not a whole lot of benefits coming from it just yet. And here comes the set piece. This time, Cloud9 just want to pull the trigger on and execute.
Yeah, they're going for it right away. Not so much thinking, just maybe a knockout punch here to the A-bomb site. Oh, this flank especially, with Exile hanging around back here, Max coming up out of the connector, it's going to be so hard to read. First engagement, he might be done almost immediately. I love that he's checking. He knows that something is up, but he just can't get out. Hobbit's going to take down one, and it falls apart right at the finish line. They almost had the overtime, and now Rock's on his own. 1 versus 4. He takes down one of them, but it is too late. 16-14, and Cloud9 will send 9C packing, but it took everything they had to get here.
Yeah, that's super impressive from 9Z. I mean, that